You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. This thing on? This thing on? Hold on, let me check. Oh, yeah, we on. We on, baby. We are on, baby. Let's get right to it. Let me get my stuff together. Hold on. Man, I ain't been on this stream in a long time, man. It's been a long time, you know. I was looking and I saw that I haven't went live. Like, don't get it twisted. I went live for like the fights and stuff like that, providing live commentary for the fights, but I haven't been live just for like a show in like 4 months, man. That's crazy. I ain't know it's been that long, you know. Like I said, we still been doing the weekend shows, you know, on fight nights, providing commentary that way. But as far as like a show, I ain't been live for a minute. But you know, it's just, hey man, life been lifing, you know. I gotta work and stuff like that. So, you know, our schedule just changed up, but we ain't forget, you know, we still here, man. Boxing Talk family, keeping it real, you know. So just here to talk about a couple things that happened in the boxing environment. You know, a lot of things have been going on, man. A lot of people ducking, a lot of people lying, a lot of people just misleading folks, you know what I'm saying? Not just the fighters, but mostly the media, you know, whether it's the independent media or the full-blown mainstream media, or it's just people talking on Twitter, whatever it is. We're gonna try to get down to the bottom of it and just bring the real. And I'll just say try to bring the real, but it's not something that we try, you know what I'm saying? It's just something that we do automatically, you know what I'm saying? It's just in us, you feel me? So it's just, it's an innate gift that I have to just keep it real and keep it funky, you know what I'm talking about? So that's what we're about to do. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and say our prayers. So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for guiding us on this path of righteousness, Lord, and please just let us continue to be strong and courageous, especially stand up for those who are able to stand up for themselves. We just thank you for another beautiful day, Lord. We ask that you lead us down the right direction, and if we're messing up, then please give us a correction and let's accept that correction and do better. Let's be the reason why somebody else smiles today. Let's be the reason why somebody in a dark place gets to see some light. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. Shout out to my brother Pat Bandero, big member in the building. What's good, my brother? Let me turn this down. Oh, we loud. Shout out to my brother Pat Bandero, man. Mi hermano, man, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother from one of the many beautiful African countries out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Democratic Republic of Congo. You know what I'm talking about? They in the World Cup too. You know what I'm saying? We got to toot the horn for that one more time. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You know, shout out to the World Cup, man. Unfortunately, y'all know me, man. I'm Jamaican, Nigerian, and American. Jamaica ain't make the World Cup. Nigeria ain't make the World Cup, but America made the World Cup. So that's what we going for, man. We going for the Democratic Republic of Congo. We going for who made the World Cup. Shout out to them. We're going for America. We're going for the Ivory Coast. We're going for Ghana. You feel me? We going for all the African countries. I don't know about South Africa, but you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But we go for all the African countries, you know what I'm saying? All the countries from the continent of Africa, and we also going for Mexico. You feel me? So that's what we root for. We root for Ghana, Ivory Coast, Mexico, Democratic Republic of Congo, America, and it depends on how I'm feeling, South Africa. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, so let's get right to this, man. Shout out to my brother Peel Out, big member in the building. What's good, Peel Out? Y'all see we switched up. Let me bring up the chat. You see we switched up the little there go the chat right there. We switched up the scene, you know, switched up the scene a little bit, man. Just want to change it up for the one time. So, you know, if y'all like the other studio that we had, don't get me wrong, I got the green screen right there. I'll pull up the green screen and we get right back to it. But right now, I just want to give a different look, you know. Shout out to my brother Pace. It's been a long time, champ, but you got to do what you got to do. You know what time it is. We got to do what we got to do, man. We're going to keep pushing, always do our thing. Amen, amen, my brother. Shout out to you. He said, Boots in his 2 more weeks. Best fight in the world. I don't know about that, but, you know, he's one of them. He's definitely one of the top fighters coming out of Philly, man. Shout out to the American former unified welterweight champion with the WBA. What do you have? The WBA and the IBF? You know what I'm saying? And former Ring Magazine champion. Shout out to Boots, man. Boots taking on Xander, the current WBA and WBO 154-pound champion. That's gonna be a great fight. You know what I'm saying? 2 Americans, one Philadelphia Philly American. You know what I'm saying? The other one Puerto Rican American. So shout out to both of them. May the best man win. I think people are sleeping on Xander, man. I think Xander has a great chance to win, but I'm going with Boots 60-40. I'm going with Boots. You know, I think Boots is gonna win, but I just love the fact that 2 young great fighters are willing to put it all on the line, you know what I'm saying, for our enjoyment, our entertainment. So shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? May the best man win. May the best man win. I'm going with Boots. But yeah. Peel out said, Doc, what you think about the collapse by San Antonio in game 4, bro? You see I got on the New York hat, man. I had on my San Antonio Spurs hat the other day. Because I was trying to galvanize them, you know, and they ended up winning. You know, 1 game, but I think it's a wrap, man. I think the New York Knicks gonna take it. He said set the record for the largest finals lead. Yeah, man. The Spurs, they set the record for the worst collapse in NBA Finals history. It's crazy, man. Shout out to the New York Knicks. The New York deserves it, man. New York deserves a title. But you know, I'm Heat gang all day. You know, Miami Heat has a little rivalry with New York. You know what I'm talking about? So you know, I just like teams. I don't really care about the rivalries too much, but you know, it does as a Heat fan, part of Heat gang. You know, it is kind of hard to go with the Knicks, but at the same time, too, you remember when it was the Heatles, when it was guys named LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh, the rival then was the San Antonio Spurs. So I'm indifferent. I don't really care who wins, but I think it'll be good for basketball, sports in general, that New York wins, in my personal opinion. But yeah, that's enough of that. Let's get right to the topic at hand. Let's talk about this Shakur stuff, man. What Shakur got going on? I want to bring a little bit of clarity to the situation. Let me pull up the clip, though. Before I get into it, let's pull up the clip. And let's see what was said. Because Shakur does this to himself, man. I don't care what nobody says, man. Shakur is a great fighter. One of the best, you know. I think that top 10 pound for pound for sure. Anybody that doesn't have Shakur Stevenson top 10 pound for pound, or Devin Haney top 10 pound for pound, you're goofy. You see what I'm saying? You just don't really watch boxing. You just a fanboy or fangirl of a particular boxer, and that's okay, but stop pretending, you know. But Shakur, Devin Haney, they're definitely a top 10. Shakur is a great fighter. However, I always said about Shakur, I think he's his worst enemy, man. He just talks too much, bro. He talks and contradicts himself, and he's just hypocritical all the time. And for example, matter of fact, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about it. Let's just watch it. I'm about to pull it up right now. We're gonna listen to what he said, and we're gonna let y'all think what you will about it. Let's go to it right now. Let me turn it up real quick. Here he is. Here it is. All right, so let's see what Shakur has to say about the Oshiki sparring. Now, this is Oshiki sparring, right? Let's pull it up.
I ain't never ran, been scared of nobody. I don't have that inside of me. So the more you keep talking is the more you gonna fuel me, bro. So right now, Ray Savage got him.
So obviously this is taken before the Ray Savage fight because he said Ray Savage got him. No, Ray Savage got. Oshiki Foster whooped Ray 4. He didn't knock him out. He didn't stop him. But at my scorecards, he beat him convincingly. I had him winning 8-4. Did I have an 8-4 or 9-3? I think I had an 8-4 in favor of Oshiki Foster. So he said that Ray Savage got him. He was wrong. And that's okay. Everybody makes predictions, messes up on those sometimes, right? And that's his friend. But that just lets you know that this is before the fight transpired, right? So just keep that in mind. And this is in reference to Oshiki Foster saying that he ran a Shakur out the gym. Let's keep it going.
So I'm gonna leave it to Ray Savage. I believe in Ray Savage. Yeah. That's how I feel. But let's just say miraculously he did find a way. I answer phone.
Yeah, he miraculously found a way. Oh, he found a way. It was miraculous. Shout out to Oshiki Foster. We predicted that one right too, by the way.
Of course. I answer phone calls. If you feel some type of way about me, I don't got no real. I do got a real issue with him because he a jealous type of dude. But if you feel some type of way about me, let's go see under the bright lights. You say you did this in sparring, you did that, because that's where
y'all do got history though. Y'all done been in the ring.
Right. That's where my main issue with him comes from. Okay. My main issue comes from he get on the camera, he don't have integrity.
Yo, Lil P, what's going on? Kendrick in the building, my brother. Unity. What up with it, my boy? Technique in the building. What's good? I see you, bro.
He just lie. Like he will just say one part of the story and not explain the entire part of the story. When he got on the camera, he said, he sparred me and he ran me out the gym. I'm like, me? Where am I gonna run? Yeah. I don't run. I don't do that.
And this is the problem I have. Not with Shakur, but the part where people are selective with their comprehension and their literacy and taking things literally. No one, I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm pretty sure that when he said, I ran you out the gym, nobody literally thought that he put hands on Shakur Stevenson and Shakur Stevenson grabbed his stuff, packed up and ran out the gym. Like, he's just saying that he whooped you, bro. Like, I ran you off the court. That doesn't mean that I beat you on the basketball court and made you pack up and leave the park or leave the gym. It's just a figure of speech. So I can't stand when people try to selectively use their common sense. Let's just keep it going. That's the main part that I'm going to dig on, but let's go.
Matter of fact, if I recall correctly, when we did our sparring, the first time we sparred, he did good. I commend you. I'm out of shape. Mind you, during the time, I'm messing with my girl. So I'm staying up late at night with her. Then they got to spar at 10 a.m. in their gym. They spar at 10 a.m., so I go to sleep probably like 6, 7 in the morning. Got to wake up, go to Main Street Gym at 10 a.m. Yeah. I spar him. He do good. They got the gym hot as hell. I'm tired. He do good. I gas out a little bit. Now.
Somebody said, it was on Twitter. People be messy on Twitter. Somebody said, oh, now he got his ass whooped because he was up late eating ass. I said, come on, bro. Why the man got to be eating that butt? Why he got to be eating butt, bro? Come on, man. People be too busy, man. Too busy being nosy, man.
Fast forward. I want to say we wait a little bit of time. I get in training camp. I start getting ready for my fight. I'm getting ready for Felix Caraballo. And when I spar him now, I'm like, okay, now I'm good. Like, yeah. I'm good. I got my sleep. I'm good. Everything is like, I'm in motion. I'm in training camp now.
Come on,
the
man.
sparring just turned completely different. Now I ain't even gonna tell what I did because I'm gonna hold that until when it happened. But when he get on camera, he explained like, oh, we ran him out the gym and I did this in sparring, but you didn't say the entire full part of the story, and that's what my problem is.
All right. So what y'all think about that, chat? Yes, sir. Shout out to Peel Out. He said them girls be affecting your performance. Man, stop it. Technique says Shakur is a big boy. I want to see him go to 147. What's the point of fighting Devin at 144? I'm gonna be honest. I have no issue with Shakur. If they fought at 144, I love it. I have no issue if they fight at 144 because, to be fair, Shakur just moved up to 140. Just because somebody is able to make the weight doesn't mean that they're comfortable fighting at that weight. That's why when a lot of people try to knock, I'm a Cinnamon fan. That's my guy, one of my favorite fighters. I wrongfully had Cinnamon beating Bud, but I don't like when people try to discredit Bud and say, oh well, Bud's the same size as Canelo. Canelo been fighting at 168. Bud was fighting at 147. He had one fight at 154. So he still has to move up. Whether he could get there comfortably is one thing. If he could walk around at that weight is another thing. To fight there is a whole nother thing entirely. So yeah, Shakur looks like he could make 147. He probably weighs 150, 160 when he's walking around. But that doesn't mean that he fights at that weight. So him moving up, he just moved up to 140 to fight Tio and smoke Tio. Him moving up again to fight Devin at 147. I don't think that's smart. I think it would behoove him to at least have a tune-up fight or maybe have a catchweight fight. So I'm not mad at that at 144. So I do think that I disagree with you, Technique. I do think there would be a point of him fighting at 144. I don't knock it, but me personally, if they're gonna fight at a catchweight, I'd rather them not fight at all right now. Just wait a little bit more. I know a lot of people don't like to let things marinate, but me, I would rather them fight at a agreed upon weight.
I'm a fight
that they both could make, as opposed to them having a catch weight and one of them having an excuse for being a loser or being the victor. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, what did we hear him say right there? The man said that he was mad at O'Shaquie Foster because O'Shaquie Foster, first, let's check out O'Shaquie Foster's response to that. Before we get into that, I want to show you O'Shaquie Foster's response to it. And I thought it was pretty funny. But he said, let me see if I can find it real quick before I get into my spiel, because I'm gonna get into my spiel. Oh, here you go right here. Look, Buddy said he acted like it never happened. Now it was only cause he was up all night eating ass. Come on, bro. People be nosy, bro. Like that was funny. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. But then O'Shaquie Foster, right here. So O'Shaquie Foster responds, and rightfully so. He says, "I thought I was lying." Even though he spelled lying wrong, he spelled lean, but that's okay. We ain't judging. He said, "I thought I was lying though, and that was our second to last time sparring session." Wait, let me read that again. He said, "I thought I was lying though, and that was our second to last sparring session, not the first." He capping. But on another note, what's up with y'all? These dudes blaming females, using all these excuses. I'm willing to demonstrate in front of the world. Let's lock in. We waiting. So basically, what he says, these dudes. For those of you that don't know, Stephen Cool Boy Fulton went on an interview. I believe it was with All the Smoke, or it might have been with Akabrack. I don't quite remember. I saw the interview, and Stephen Fulton was saying, "Oh yeah, man, I was having trouble with my girl, and I was having issues with my girl." Basically saying that he lost the fight because he was having issues with his girl, and they were together for like a year. You were together for a year? Like, come on. You having trouble with your girl, and y'all were together for a year.
You dumbass.
And you let that get in the way of you you let that get in the way of your fight? Like, come on, bro. So now Shakur's saying that, oh, he has a girl. That's why O'Shaquie Foster's like, what's up with y'all and blaming y'all women? Like, blaming y'all ladies, man. Y'all gotta tighten up. Like, and I agree with that. I think that excuse is trash, but I don't mind it from Shakur because it's just sparring. Just like when Gervonta Tate Davis sparred Devin Haney, he was out of shape and wasn't in condition, or he wasn't conditioned right, correct? And so Devin Haney got the better of him once the conditioning, or the better conditioned athlete, started to take over because the other dude got fatigued, right? So I don't mind Shakur saying that. But when you say it in a real fight and you're Stephen Fulton and you miss weight, bro, just shut up, bro. Like that I like Stephen Coolboy Fulton, but that was terrible. So shout out to O'Shaquie Foster for that. Now with Shakur, I'm gonna tell you why Shakur looks bad. This is the only reason why I think Shakur looks bad in this sense. Not because he lost a sparring. Like, I don't even put too much stock into sparring. Like, I don't really care. Maybe because I was an amateur boxer and I used to spar, and I don't really like when they be repeating sparring stories outside the gym. Like when Shakur said at the end, he was like, I got the better of him. He said, oh, well, let me just save that for later. I thought that was dope. You see what I'm saying? I don't like when they disclose the sparring events that transpired. I feel like sparring and fighting in the gym, and when it comes to boxing, is like going to Vegas. You know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in the gym stays in the gym. Sometimes you'll have a good day. Sometimes you'll have a bad day. Sometimes somebody get the better of you. Sometimes they won't. So the issue I have is that Shakur was acting like it never happened. Like the one dude was saying, minus the expletives and him infiltrating the bedroom, talking about what Shakur eating that booty or whatever. You know? But I agree with that dude. It's like, you first, and Oshiki Foster, first you said it didn't happen. Now you're saying why it happened. Shakur just told on himself. He just looked bad. Like, he didn't clear up the air at all. All he did was just galvanize Oshiki Foster's story. All he did was validate Oshiki Foster's story. All he did was say, yeah, it happened, but it happened because of this, this, and this. Before, you told us it didn't happen at all. You see what I'm saying? That's the issue right there, bro. Like, just stop talking, man. You talk too much, and I don't know. He just looks bad because now it's like, how can you trust him? But I already knew Oshiki Foster was telling the truth. I didn't know because I was there, but I just feel like Oshiki Foster's a stand-up dude. Like I said, though, does this change my mind on who wins the fight? No, I still think Shakur wins, but I think it's a good fight. Do I want it to happen? No, I want Oshiki Foster to fight Emmanuel Navarrete. I want Oshiki Foster to fight Anthony Kakachi, that coward who won't fight. I want him to fight people around his weight class. You know, I would rather that than him fight Shakur Stevenson. But if that fight happened, I'll be interested in it. It's intriguing because of their rivalry, because of what happened in sparring. Do I believe that Shakur got the better of Oshiki Foster the next time they sparred? Yeah. Do I think that maybe it had something to do with his conditioning or him being occupied or him not being accustomed to the time that they were going to spar? Yeah, of course. There's many things that contribute to a bad performance. But like I said, the issue is that he made it seem like it didn't happen. And for those that are trying to be fixated on the part where, oh, he ran me out the gym, nobody runs me out the gym, that's just verbiage, man. That's just lingo, bro. I ran you out the gym means I whooped you, bro. That's all that means. It doesn't mean that he literally had Shakur Stevenson running with his tail between the legs, running out the gym. And if he did stop sparring, it's probably because he was tired. You see what I'm saying? But no, I don't think anybody in their right mind, if you do feel like Oshiki Foster or anybody else ran Shakur out the gym like he was crying or something, I just think you're stupid. You see what I'm saying? And for Shakur Stevenson to even play up that part, I just think that it just highlights some level of dishonesty there. Like, you know, it's just like, come on, bro. Nobody really believes that he ran you out the gym. At least I don't think so. At least maybe I'm giving people too much credit. But when I heard Oshiki Foster say I ran you out the gym, I didn't literally think that he made Shakur Stevenson pack his stuff up and go home. Like, come on, what are we talking about, man? He's just saying that he got the better of you in that sparring session, and you probably didn't want to spar anymore because you were tired, because you were staying up late with your girl, because you weren't conditioned. Like, come on, man. We just gotta be smarter than that, dog. Like, we can't be that dumb. Like, we can't be that dumb, bro. Like, come on, man. Shout out to my brother Southwest in the building. What's good, bro? I gotta say it properly. Yes. Oh no, what's it? No, it's not. Remember, hey, Southwest, it's not Oshiki. It's not Oshiki or Oshaki. It's Oshanique, right? Because didn't he say that there was a spelling error? Like, his real name was supposed to be Oshanique, but when they did his amateur fights, they announced him as Oshaki or something like that because they forgot the N. Yeah, so it's Oshanique. My bad. You right. Appreciate the Southwest. Shout out to my brother Dane in the building. What's good, brethren? You know what I'm saying? Man, Shakur talk about he got belief in Ray Ford. He gonna miraculously beat I mean, he gonna beat Oshiki Foster. Oshiki said, hey man, miracles do happen, baby. He tossed that boy right out the ring. That was crazy, bro. How he tossed him out the ring like that? He ain't had to do him like that. Why he did him like that? How you get thrown out the ring with all that flopping and get your butt whooped? Shout out to Ray Ford though. And Oshanique Foster, excuse me. You know, shout out to Dane. He says, I tend to concur. Shakur Stevens a legitimate shot at winning his 4th WBO championship. He said, not to mention that it gives Shakur Stevenson a legitimate shot at winning his 4th WBO championship and 5th divisional world title. It makes no sense to me either. Yeah, about going to having a catchweight. I agree. Like, I don't think it should be a catchweight. I think they should meet at 140 or 147. But like I said, I think it would be smart for Shakur to have a fight in the interim to maybe see how can get acclimated to that weight class. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's him fighting, I don't think he should fight Devin Haney at a catchweight, but if they decide to do that, then hey, so be it. But I would prefer them fight at 147 or 140, preferably 147. Pat says Shaka's a dog. I ain't gonna lie, but I would lean towards Shakur. Yeah, me too. I would lean towards Shakur too. I'd be rooting for Oshiki Foster, but I would put, if I had to put money on, I'd put money on Shakur. If Shakur gave his word about the Savage fight, hey man, Shakur need to keep his word. I agree with that. Just like Bivol, right? I always tell people this. I said Bivol gave his word for the trilogy. You know, I think that's why I think you should prioritize the Beterbiev fight. So likewise, I think Shakur should fight Oshiki Foster. However, that's not the fight that I want the most. I want to see Shakur versus. I'd rather see him fight the winner of Raymond Murataya and who's Murataya fighting? Kasesa, right? Robson Kasesa. He fights everybody. Robson Kasesa fights Oshiki Foster. He fought, gosh dang, Shakur. Now he's fighting Raymond Murataya. I would prefer Shakur if he goes back to 135 to try to get undisputed or unify there, me personally. But as far as Shakur and Oshiki Foster, outside of the beef and out of the internet back and forth, I don't really care about that fight. But I mean, I would watch it just because the rivalry there. Kendra said, I say we should have a card in Vegas with Shakur versus Shaq and Dev versus Key as the main event. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. P-Line says Keyshawn will stop Dev. I right now I have Devin beating Keyshawn. Shout out to my guy Dane. He says you're right about that. I saw the Tank versus Haney sparring. There was also other factors. Yeah, had the upper hand. Money grabbed him, his arm, and twisted it behind his back. Yeah, exactly. So like when Tank was sparring Devin, Tank had the upper hand at first, and then Devin started, he's a more conditioned athlete. He was in shape at the time. He got the better of him afterwards. So was that a big deal? I mean, a lot of people made a big deal out of it, but it's sparring. It's like Bivol and Benavidez. I don't care. A lot of people are saying that Benavidez got the better of Bivol in the sparring. Bro, I don't care, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, because and Dane can attest to this too, as a former boxer, right? When you are sparring, anybody that spars, seriously now, I'm not talking about people who just go in there and spar every once in a while because their friends are in the gym or something like that. But I'm talking about like a boxer, whether you do it recreationally or you do it professionally, right? If you do it enough recreationally, right, and you're just trying to work on things, you know that your trainer or your coach or whatever you want to call him has you working on things, even if you're just trying to, even if you're not competing, if you're just trying to get better at stuff, right, and sharpen up your tools. When you spar, there's very few times when you're just sparring with no direction. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is that my trainer, my coach, would tell me to spar Dane, and if I'm sparring Dane, he'd probably tell me, hey, Doc, work on your jab this round. I don't want you to throw nothing but jabs. Hey, work on your footwork. Work on your ring generalship. Work on your defense. Like, you have objectives. Only, I would, no disrespect, but I would say you're probably a bullshit trainer if you do not give your fighter objectives when you're sparring. Like, there's been times, few and far in between, when you're going in there and you're just sparring with another guy, right? But it's rare that you're not going in there with an objective. So what I'm saying is that the trainer might give me an objective. I'm not going to tell Dane what I'm working on. You see what I'm saying? Dane might be working on his own things, or Dane might just be going off full throttle. You see what I'm saying? But he won't know that because we're trying to simulate what a real boxing match would do, and I'm trying to sharpen my tools, right? So what I'm saying is that I don't know if Shakur Stevenson was working on something when he sparred Shaq Foster and he got the better of him. I don't know if Bivol was working on something when David Benavidez got the better of him. I don't know. I don't know if David Benavidez was on was one of them days when he was on that booger sugar, you know what I'm saying? He might have had a monster drink and some cocaine, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know. And then Bivol might have had a stomach ache. I don't know. His knee could have been hurting. I'm not saying that would have happened. They could have both been going 100% full throttle and David Benavidez beat the hell out of Bivol. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that I don't care. I want to see them actually fight, because there's been plenty of times where we see sparring stories match what transpires in the actual fight, and there's plenty of times where we see sparring stories not match up on the actual fight night. For example, sparring stories that matched what happened in the fight: Daniel Dubois and AJ. The rumors were that Daniel Dubois got the better of Anthony Joshua in the sparring, and he got the better of him on fight night. We predicted that, right? Correctly. An example of when it didn't go that way, the contrary happened, was when Frank Martin sparred Gervonta Tank Davis. They said Frank Martin got the better of Tank during sparring. What happened in the fight? Tank put the Ghost to sleep. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, my point is that I think if you're a Bivol fan, you don't like the sparring stories that you hear with Benavidez. If you're a Benavidez fan, you love the sparring stories that you heard with Bivol. But either way, it's not enough. You still got to see the fight. So that's just my personal opinion. So I don't really care about sparring stories. It's good to hear the talking about it and stuff like that. But as far as, like Dane said, when Tank in that sparring fight that happened years ago, over a decade ago, right? It looked like Tank could have stopped Devin Haney. But AB jumped in, Floyd jumped in and stuff like that. And it didn't go to that extent. And then it went on further and further. And it looked like, once Tank started getting tired, Devin started getting the better of him. But that's life. That's part of the fight. It's a better conditioned athlete usually going to win. So it behooves you not to be fatigued. So I'm not holding that against Devin or holding that against Tank. I'm just saying that's what happened in the sparring. So we can't act like that is indicative 100% of the time of what's going to happen during the fight. So this is just stuff to talk about. What I said, the reason why I think Shakur looks bad, not because Shaq got the better of him in sparring. He looks bad because he was lying. he just admitted that he was lying. You see what I'm saying? Like, he just snitched on himself. To me, that looks bad more than anything else. It's like bro, I still pick Shakur to beat O'Shaquie Foster. I don't mind seeing it, but for me, if someone said, hey Doc, you could pick who Shaq fights next, I would prioritize Emmanuel Navarrete, because I like unifications and undisputed fights. Call me old school, whatever. If you're asking me who I want to see Shakur fight next, I would hope that they could try to make a Devin Haney fight. But if not, then I would say fight the winner of Robson Casesau and Raymond Morataya. And I think it's going to be Raymond Morataya. If not, if you're going to stay at 140, the reason why I'm prioritizing Raymond Morataya is because, you know, if the rumors are true that he's signing with Zuffa, right? You know, Zuffa doesn't have a 140-pound division. You know what I'm saying? So Shakur Stevenson will either have to move to 147 or go back down to 135, you know? But, you know, things change with the women. When you got money, people act a little funny. So maybe Zuffa will entertain 140-pound divisions fights, but right now they don't have a 140-pound division, right? That's why Rayo didn't stay at 140 once he signed to Zuffa. He went down to 135, right? Exactly. So because they don't have a 140-pound division. So if Shakur actually does sign with Zuffa, which is not finalized yet or not fully officially announced, then if he doesn't do that and he stays at 140, then I would rather him fight Dalton Smith, who's a WBC champion at 140. I'd rather him fight, who else is a champion at 140? Who's a WBA champion? Gary Antoine Russell. You see what I'm saying? So I would rather him fight guys in their divisions. That's just me. Maybe I'm old school, but I like unifications and undisputed. But if he was going to fight O'Shaquie Foster at a catch weight, or O'Shaquie Foster is going to move up to 140 or 135, whatever, that's cool. If he's going to fight Devin Haney at a catch weight at 144, or he's going to fully commit to 147 and fight Devin Haney there, that's cool. But I'd rather see Devin Haney versus Keyshawn for the WBO belt, and Shakur versus anybody I just named, and then O'Shaquie Foster versus Anthony Kakachi for his WBA belt, or Emmanuel Navarrete for the WBO belt, even though it's rumored that Emmanuel Navarrete could be fighting Charlie Suarez or Vasily Lomachenko. So that's just me, though. Shout out to Oscar, my brother Oscar, mi hermano Carnal. Shout out to you. He said, Oscar says, my only pushback is Tank got an interim and is heavy criticized for going to 135. Personally, I think he should fight at 140 because on paper he's the best. Anything below should be criticized as well. That's a good point. I'm not mad at that. Staying up with your girl counts as cardio. You know what I'm talking about? That's a fact. Man, that's a fact. Pat says, congrats on the first one. Yeah, man, I saw Mexico win, man. Hey, Canelo was happy. They beat South Africa, right? I said if Canelo was, if Mexico would have lost, Canelo would have ran down on Elon Musk. That's funny, man. Southwest Dice says he has Devin 10-2 over. Ooh, 10-2? You have Devin 10-2 over Keyshawn?
Damn. I'm sorry.
10-2 is crazy. I got Devin, I say, which is only a 2. I would say 8-4, 7-5. I'd say 8-4 probably. Which reflects a what? 116, 112. 10-2, boy, you got Devin cooking Keyshawn. I ain't mad at that. Pat says those guys know each other so much. One would win sparring one day and lose the other day, but Shakur is right. That under the light is different. Yeah, exactly. It is under the light. It could be different. Under the light could be different, but why are we lying? You know what I'm saying? Why are we lying? Dev versus Key going to look a lot like Loma versus Dev. Everyone going to have different opinions on who won. Ooh, I don't know, Kendrick. I think it's going to be a clear win for Devin. You know, like I said, it's not because I don't like Keyshawn or I don't think Keyshawn is good. I think Keyshawn is up and up, on the up and up. I think he's a potentially great fighter. I think he's 2 or 3 good wins away from being on the pound for pound list. But I also think that Keyshawn hasn't really fought somebody that could do the things that Devin Haney has done or is capable of doing in the professional leagues yet. You know, that doesn't mean that I'm not giving Keyshawn a chance. Oh, absolutely. I think I would say 65-35 in favor of Keyshawn. I mean, in favor of Devin. Maybe 60-40 in favor of Devin. I don't know. But I think Keyshawn Davis, you know, he has power. He has athleticism. He does have the blueprint on what I think somebody would need to beat Devin Haney. But I think that people exaggerate that pillow-fisted title. You know, that pillow-fisted label on Devin. I think that Devin Haney hits harder than people think. Similar to Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying Devin Haney's as good as Floyd Mayweather. The similarity that I'm saying that they have is that, you know, a lot of people say, oh, Floyd Mayweather doesn't hit hard. Well, then how come people don't run through his punches and try to knock him out? Manny Pacquiao didn't do it. Sugar Shane Mosley didn't do it. Sugar Shane Mosley almost dropped him in the second round. Shout out to the late, great Nazim Richardson, right? He almost dropped him in the second round. And then what happened after that? Floyd Mayweather started walking Sugar Shane down. So if Floyd doesn't hit that hard, how come all his opponents didn't just walk through his punches and knock him out? You know what I'm saying? They didn't do it, you know. So I think that means something, you know. I think they hit harder than what we thought. Even if you say that Brian Norman Jr. has a glass jaw or whatever, he still got dropped. And I was surprised. I actually picked Brian Norman. You know that. I picked Brian Norman to beat Devin Haney. But I was really impressed by Devin Haney, like, during that fight. You know, I just don't really... Y'all know what it is, man. I really like boxing, man. So I give credit where credit is due. I see a lot of people taking away Shakur Stevenson's credit from beating Teofimo. A lot of people say, oh, we knew that Teofimo didn't have a chance against Shakur. What are you talking about? And a lot of these people that say that, they pick Teofimo to beat Shakur. It's like, give people their credit, man. I picked Shakur to beat Teo, but I expect Shakur to wash Teo like that. Like, come on, man. You know, if Teo would have beat Shakur, they would have had Teo #1 on pound for pound list. You know, we got to give people credit, man. Give credit where credit is due. Just like with Boots and Xander. Don't get it twisted. If Boots beats Xander, they're not going to give Boots credit. You know what I'm saying? But if Xander beats Boots, oh, Xander gonna be #1, #2, or #3 pound for pound. You know, I think that's nonsense, bro. Like, it's crazy. If anybody would have beat Teo, if Ryan Garcia beats Teo, Ryan Garcia will be he'll shoot up there. Raymond Morataya beats Teo. You know what I'm saying? Dalton Smith beats Teo, but because Shakur beats Teo or Devin Haney beats Teo, they don't give him credit. Like, come on, bro. I thought we were talking about Teofimo that beat the great Lomachenko. I thought we were Teofimo that is a little small discrepancy, a little small asterisk, a little technicality away from being undisputed. I thought that's a Teo we're talking about. Like, come on, bro. Give people their credit, bro. That joke is crazy to me. So. Yeah, I'm not with that, man. Like, if I pick against you and you prove me wrong, that means that I feel like I have a pretty good eye when it comes to this boxing stuff. So if I see something that I think you might lose to and you end up proving me wrong, I got to give you all the credit in the world. Like, I'm not one of those that my ego is not attached to picking the correct person to win in boxing. Like, sometimes I'm happy to be wrong because that makes you enjoy the sport, because anything can happen. That's what we love about boxing. You could swear up and down, every single sign could tell you and point to this person winning, and somehow, some way, the other person wins. Bro, that's the beauty of boxing, bro. That's why I love the sport. So my ego is not attached to picking the right person. Like, what the heck? I picked Canelo over Bud. I was wrong. I picked Spence over Bud. I was wrong again. You feel me? So I picked Pitbull over Ryo. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But now there's a lot of times when I was right. I picked Dubois over AJ. I picked Callum Smith over Boatsy. I picked Liam Parr over Subriel Matias. I got a lot more right than I got wrong, baby. You know what I'm talking about? There's no shame in my game. If I get something wrong, I get something wrong. These dudes, these boy bitches out here, man, they have a lot of fragile egos, man. They attach their identity to being right about predicting a boxing match. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Shout out to my guy Dane. He said, absolutely, my first trainer had me primarily focused on the jet. Come on now. Hold on. He about to preach right now. Hold on, man. Everybody face forward in the pews. We got Pastor Dane approaching the pulpit. Hold on, man. My boy Preacher, he said, absolutely. My first trainer had me primarily focusing on the jab while sparring. Yeah. And perfecting a straight right. Yeah. Second trainer often told me to get inside. Yeah. And work on hooks to the body. Yeah. While throwing uppercuts. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, so if you know that, then you realize how inconsequential a lot of these sparring stories are. It's mostly just for people to talk. You know what I'm talking about? Talk about it. Like, so the fact that I don't care if Oshiki Foster beat Shakur 5 times in a row in the same day. Well, I might care then, you know, that might mean something. But if he beat, no, on the same day, no, because Shakur Stevenson could have injured something. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to look at the fight and the fighters and try to imagine how they will match up against each other stylistically. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to make my assessment despite what I heard. You see, like, so I don't care if Benavidez stopped Bivol in sparring. I'm going to still look at Bivol style, look at Benavidez style, look at who they fought, look at the caliber of people they fought, look at how they did against people I think have similar styles or can implement similar game plans, and I'm going to make an assessment. You know, a lot of people, they lazy though. So they just want to be able to say, oh yeah, well, I heard that this guy landed a right hand in sparring 10 years ago, so he's probably going to land that same right hand a decade later with different trainers and with different progressions throughout their career. Like, come on. What are we talking about? He said, you nailed it on how good trainers have us focus on certain facets at a time. Thank you. You nailed it on how good trainers have us focus on certain facets at a time. Facts. So, like, when people, I don't understand, like sparring is, despite what you may think, sparring is not a full-blown fight in the gym or in the back alleys. Sparring is synonymous with practice. So when you have a practice game in basketball or football, they're not going 100%. Sometimes you are, sometimes egos take over, especially when you talk about men, but women too, sometimes egos take over, but you're usually working on something. You're not going to see LeBron go hard and Steph Curry and Giannis go hard and Luka Doncic and Jokic and Jason Tatum go hard every single practice, every single game. No, they're working on things. They're working on 2-minute drills. They're working on inbound plays. They're working on defensive schemes. Same thing with boxing. Sparring is practice. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your ego will take over and you start, going to the dog house and all that stuff, the doghouse rules like Floyd and them used to do. But you're working on certain things. That's why they bring in, like, people act oblivious when convenient. It's like, that's why they bring in fighters to emulate other fighters that they're fighting, because they're trying to work on things. So when somebody is fighting a tall fighter, they bring in a tall sparring partner. When they're fighting an athletic fighter, they bring in an athletic sparring partner. They're not just bringing in random guys that they're just beating up, going 100% and being happy. Yeah, I'm Macho Man. I beat this guy. No, it's technicalities to the game, man. You know what I'm saying? It's an art form at the end of the day. It's art. You feel me? Oshiki versus Navarrete should have been happened. Facts, Oscar. I've been waiting for that fight over 3 years. Yeah, and who was it? Who came out and said that Navarrete been it was an ESPN Top Rank guy too. Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley said, according to Tim Bradley, Navarrete has been turning down the fight consistently. And so Oshiki Foster said that as well. So, and that wouldn't be the first time we see two people from the Top Rank stable be separated from each other, right? Shakur and Loma, both Top Rank, didn't happen. Tio and Shakur, both Top Rank. When they were both Top Rank, didn't happen. Terrence Crawford and Pacquiao, when they're both Top Rank, didn't happen. Now Oshiki Foster and Navarrete, both Top Rank, they happen. Bruce Shushu Carrington and Rafael Espinosa, both Top Ranks, not happening. So sometimes being on the same side of the street isn't enough to facilitate a fight. Sometimes people want to, like Bob Arum, sometimes he wants to make those fights happen when it's most beneficial to them. Like Emmanuel Navarrete versus Oshiki Foster for Undisputed is way bigger than Oshiki Foster, who nobody really knows, versus Emmanuel Navarrete before he was unified. You know what I'm saying? So for the business of boxing always trumps everything, man. But I would love to see, like I said, it doesn't even have to be Emmanuel Navarrete. If Anthony Kakachi the coward, who conveniently cares about belts when it's a guy that he could beat, he didn't care about belts when he had to defend his IBF belt against Eduardo Sugar Nunez. He vacated that to fight was it Lee Wood, and then all of a sudden he didn't care about belts. That's what he said. He wants the big money fights. But then when Lamont Roach vacated his WBA belt at 130, right, to move up to fight Tank and whoever else he fought, Pitbull and all of them, right? Then Jazza Dickens was elevated to the WBA champion. All of a sudden, Anthony Kakachi cares about belts again. He didn't want to fight Ray Ford. He didn't want to revisit that fight. Remember, because he was injured. And maybe he was. I don't want to say he wasn't injured, but if you are injured, then you revisit the fight, right? If you're really about that life, you don't want to, and you're not scared of the person. So he didn't revisit Ray Ford after he got injured. He vacated the belt so he didn't have to defend against Sugar Nunez, right? But then he went back and fought Jazza Dickens when Jazza Dickens was the WBA champ. So I want to see if he's going to fight Oshiki Foster. I would love Oshiki Foster and Kakachi. That's a unification. Let's see if he does it. I would love Kakachi versus Navarrete. Let's see if they do it. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. That's crazy. I don't think I'm wrong, though. But we'll see. He said, Shock said that he tried to make the fight with Navarrete in the past. Yeah, but I hope he keeps trying to make it in the present, man, because that's a great fight. I want to see that. If I could pick any fight for a Shock next, it would be Navarrete, in my personal opinion. Don't forget to smack that like button for your boy. I appreciate it. Dev versus Key gonna have same feeling as Wardley versus Triple D. Woo! Dev will dominate, but Key always gonna be a live dog with a danger factor on edge. I like that, Oscar. Oscar says Tio got stepped on in the elbow. That's what the streets say. Facts. Oscar said Tio got stepped on the elbow. Right. Oh man. Kendrick says Xander beats Boots, they would have him as the next Canelo. Yeah, absolutely. Also look at the weight. When sparred is different gloves. Yeah, different gloves, different power. The power might be different. You don't know who's in your corner. You might be in there by yourself. Or with the assistant trainer, or the ring size could be different. You see what I'm saying? Like it might not even be 3-minute rounds, could be 2-minute rounds, could be 10-minute rounds. Bro, like I've done 3 back-to-back 5-minute rounds. I've done a round robin. I'm sure all of you that sparred have done so too, and Dane, I'm sure. When I say a round robin, but it was just me. It wasn't a round robin with everybody. It was just me against 3 different fighters, 5 rounds in a row, and they were switching out, not me. You see what I'm saying? I've done that before. So maybe Shakur was, I don't know. I know it's not the case because they would have said it, but I'm just saying, you never know. Maybe Shakur fought Oshiki. Maybe Oshiki Foster was a fifth person that Shakur sparred that day, and he was tired. You see what I'm saying? Like, so one thing I do agree with Shakur that they don't tell the whole story, but it's not Oshiki Foster's responsibility to tell the story of you being up late with your girl. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing, man? So that's the only issue I have with Shakur. Like I said, I think Shakur's a good fighter, a great fighter, excuse me. I think Devin Haney's a great fighter. I think Bivol a great fighter. Benavidez a great fighter. I think Keyshawn's on the verge of becoming a great fighter. But, you know, I just think that a lot of times we should just be happy that these fights are happening as opposed to figuring out ways or reasons why they shouldn't happen. Like, what are we talking about, man? Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's crazy, though. But people, I feel like these are just distractions. But, yeah, I think that, yeah, I just thought that was a bad look for Shakur. But, you know, that's why I think a lot of people don't care for Shakur because he just talks too much sometimes. And there's nothing wrong with talking. That's part of boxing, right? We got to talk, you know. And, you know, I like Gervonta Tank Davis. I think sometimes he talks so much. Bro, I don't know how to be fanned out like that. Like, and Kendrick could attest to this, right? When Gervonta Tank Davis said that stuff about Terrence Crawford's, I don't know if it was Terrence Crawford's wife or girlfriend or whatever it was, or just I don't know. But he says, I think it was his baby mama at the very least. He said something about her. I was like, man, Terrence Crawford should go slap that man in his mouth. Bro, like I like Tank, but I'm not a person that won't point out when somebody messes up. You know, I'm gonna compliment you and critique you evenly. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that everything I say is gonna be right, but I try to be fair, man. It just comes naturally. Like, I'm not really good at being biased. Like, I have to try to be biased, you know. But I do think Gervonta beats Shakur. I think Gervonta beats Devin. I think he beats Teofimo. I think he beats all. He already beat Ryan, but yeah, that doesn't mean that I think that if Gervonta Tank Davis fought Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson right now at this moment, I would pick Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Why? Because I don't think Tank is focused. You know what I'm saying? But I think if you're going everything even, both of them at their peaks and at their highest level of focus and dedication to the sport, I'm picking Gervonta all day. Shout out to Pat. He said, facts. I did sparring and the coach of the opponent was also advising me because I was alone. Got me walking in the shots. Right. You feel me? Exactly. So we can't conveniently remember and forget those things. You know what I'm saying? But now I want to talk about this too, man. I want to move on, man. Oscar apparently, you know, and this is going to segue into Ja Pataya too. But Oscar De La Hoya, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, he has issued a CND. A CND. That's a cease and desist letter to Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. Why did he do that? Because he feels that they are talking too much about their potential fight between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Ryan signed with Golden Boy, Conor Benn signed with Zuffa, and they're not getting his consent or his approval. You see what I'm saying? So he issued a cease and desist. So what's the significance of that? The significance of that is saying that they are basically trying to groom or illegally contact or coerce Ryan Garcia to their side without his permission. And if they continue to do so, there will be a lawsuit and litigation filed. And it's just so funny because I tell people this all the time. This is how it's going to get tied into Ja Pataya. Zuffa Boxing is another hurdle to overcome in order to have these fights. It's another obstacle in the way of making these fights. So when you want to blame other fighters for not fighting Ja Pataya, who's a Zuffa belt champion and the Ring Magazine belt champion, right? You got to be careful of that because being on Zuffa doesn't mean that it's impossible to have these fights, but being on Zuffa introduces another roadblock that could potentially prevent these fights. Do I think Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia is going to happen? Yes, I think it's going to happen because money talks, right? But I just want to highlight because a lot of people, when I say that, oh, Ja Pataya is not fighting David Benavidez because he was on Zuffa. He didn't fight Zerto because he was on Zuffa. He didn't fight CBS. That was when CBS was a champion. That was before Zuffa. But I said it wasn't CBS's fault. He's not going to get Noel McCallan. If he fights Noel McCallan, it won't be for his WBC belt because of Zuffa, right? When I say these things, people say, oh, well, what's your excuse for Zuffa fighting Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia with the WBC. I said, bro, that's just one case. And that doesn't mean that the fight is definitively going to happen. And even if it does happen, that doesn't mean that Zuffa wasn't another obstacle that had to be overcome. Zuffa boxing so far has been a hindrance to fighters getting championship fights. I don't even know what there's nothing to debate about that, but yeah, I just want to bring that up as well before I go back to Zuffa, right? Since we're on Zuffa, I want to also revisit the Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson fight. I don't think it's going to happen next, and I made a video about this. Go check it out if you haven't done so already. Those of you that already checked it out, big salute, right? I don't think it's going to happen because of Zuffa. I think that Zuffa, like I said, they don't even have a 140-pound division right now. You know what I'm saying? They have 135 and 147. Shakur's at 140. He's a champion at the WBO at 140 right now. And the rumors are that he's going to sign to Zuffa. And the rumors are that Devin Haney's also going to sign to Zuffa. He's a WBO 147-pound welterweight champion, right? I don't think it's coincidental. And I'm not blaming Devin Haney. I'm not saying Devin Haney's scared of Shakur. I'm not saying Shakur's scared of Devin. I'm not saying Devin's scared of Keyshawn and Keyshawn's scared of Devin. I'm saying that WBO stands for what? Not the literal definition, but the hood definition, the street definition. It stands for what Bob orders. Who is Bob? Bob Arum, right? Bob Arum is the head of Top Rank. Keyshawn's fights on Top Rank. I think that they have some type of inclination to believe that Devin Haney is going to vacate the WBO belt. Why? Because he's probably going to sign to Zuffa. You see what I'm saying? So I think that President Gustavo Oliveira and Bob Arum put Keyshawn Davis in a position to fight for a vacant belt. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Devin Haney is going to fight Keyshawn Davis next, despite the WBO mandatory with President Gustavo Oliveira. I don't think that Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, if they actually do sign to Zuffa, I don't think that they're going to have their inaugural Zuffa fight be against each other. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if we look at Conor Benn, who did Conor Benn fight when he first signed to Zuffa? His initial fight wasn't a big fight that we wanted. It wasn't against Ryan Garcia. It wasn't against Shakur Stevenson. It wasn't against Devin Haney. It was against Regis Prograis, Regis Prograis that's on the decline of his career. Nobody wanted that fight. That was his first fight. Ja Bataya's first fight at Zuffa boxing. It wasn't against the WBC champion Noel McCallan. It wasn't against David Benavidez. It wasn't against Zerto. It was against Brandon Glanton. No disrespect to Brandon Glanton. No disrespect to Regis Prograis, a former champion, right? But those are their inaugural fights on the Zuffa platform. So why would you think that Shakur and Devin Haney are going to fight a big fight on their first fights or their debut on a new platform? I could even take it further than that. Who was Rayo? Who was Rayo's first fight when he landed on Zuffa? It wasn't this De Los Santos fight that's coming up, this De Los Santos rematch. No, it was against wasn't it Ocampo, I believe, right? Or was that? Let me see. Who was his first fight? Rayo. I don't even remember who Rayo's first fight was on Zuffa. That was a big signing for Zuffa too. Who was his first fight? Let me look it up real quick. His first fight was, Diego Nunes. Diego Nunes was his first fight on Zuffa. You see what I'm saying? So why would we think that? And then the Ocampo that I was thinking of, my bad. That was what's the name's first fight? That was Callum Walsh. Callum Walsh's first fight on Zuffa was against Ocampo, Carlos Ocampo. So like none of these guys that signed to Zuffa, their first fight, none of them have been against a high caliber opponent. That doesn't mean that things can't change, but for me, I'm going to go with what happened historically. And historically speaking, what has happened, I think is going to continue to happen, is that they're going to let their fighters get their feet, their big fighters get their feet wet. They're not just going to throw them into a big fight on their first fight, on their introductory fight on Zuffa. That's just my personal opinion, but I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see. But so far, my train of thought has been correct. Shout out to Oscar said Ja Bataya are talking about Duck City's capital Zuffa. Right, exactly. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to Kendrick. He says, I'm honestly tired of Oscar and his control antics. He already sold his soul with Turkey. Just go with the flow down. Yeah, that's a good point. Shout out to my guy Just Do in the building. What's good, brethren? He said, peace, my guy, dog. Keep building. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you. Whoops, wrong thing. Hold on. Shout out to my guy Just Do. Yes, sir. Y'all check out my guy Just Do if you haven't done so already, man. Check him out. Dope channel right there. One of the few that I tune into, you know. But yeah, man, I'm with that too. I think Oscar is, I don't know, man. I'm kind of indifferent on that, Kendrick, because on one hand, I agree with you. But on the other hand, it's like, man, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, all these guys, Dana White for sure, they go through lawsuits all the time. So if somebody's violating a contract, then I'm with you to get, you know, to get compensated for it. But I do agree with you too. It's like, he's with Turkey, bro. We know Turkey's gonna make that fight happen, and we know that you're gonna comply. So I don't know why you acting. But at the same time, I think that he's just trying to push back, not really against Turkey, obviously, but against Dana White. You know, let Dana White know that, hey, man, there's still some order to these things. You can't just come in here and just disregard protocol and procedures because you think you're the big dog now because you Turkey's son. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, but at the same time, you know, I do think that, hey, man, boxing is the wild, wild west, but it does have some things that you got to follow, some rules you got to follow and abide by. So I kind of feel indifferent. I think that if you do have a legitimate reason to put your foot down, then put your foot down. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm rooting for Oscar against Dana. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like Dana White. Y'all know that. I do not like Dana White. I think Zuffa. Hey, I'm gonna watch boxing. If it's better for boxing, I'm with it. But I'm just not convinced that so far it's better for boxing. But it's still early, you know. It's still early, so we'll see. Canada has to wake they butts up. It's 1-1 against Bosnia right now. Yeah, Canada playing against Bosnia right now. Yep. Kendrick said Oscar tried to play both sides. Yes, making backdoor deals with Turkey, then trying to get control of a side. I agree with that. I agree with that. Shout out to Pat. He said, Doc, like I said before, it is really a great point or analysis you're making about the first Zuffa fight not being between two high profile. Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Man, hey, I just want to say, man, shout out to y'all that actually listen to me, man. I know I talk a lot. I know I talk fast too. That's a Jamaican, Nigerian, American in me, man. My bad. I try to slow down. It's a problem I have. I have a lot on my mind. My mind be going 1,000 miles per minute. So I actively try to talk slower. So I apologize for that. But shout out to those that come to the channel and they actually listen to what I got to say instead of just making these flippant, impulsive, conclusions, you know what I'm saying, without even listening to what I'm saying. We could disagree. We don't have to agree, but I promise you, I'm a thinker, baby. I don't just have these things in my head and just say it on a whim. Like, I think about it because I try to see what's going to happen. I don't just, yeah. Anyway, but shout out to my guy, Pat. When I draw these conclusions or I give these hypotheses, I think about it. I don't just pull it out my butt. You know, I put some thought into it. That doesn't mean it's gonna be right, and that doesn't mean it's gonna be right, and that does not mean that I'm right. I at least put some thought in. I put some logic behind it a little bit. It's not all emotional like these goofies. You know what I'm talking about? He said Oscar don't want his fighters to get used to big paydays because then he doesn't want to pay the price. Well, he got to put on a show by himself. That's a fact. That's a fact. We know Oscar be petty pitcher, man. We know Oscar De La Hoya be petty pitcher, man. He gotta have somebody for his 8-ball. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my guy De La Panti. Y'all chill on my boy De La Panti. Oh man, but yeah, man. So what else I was gonna say too, man? I see a lot of content creators going back and forth about the Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney situation too. That just be funny, man. I just be laughing, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I ain't big enough yet, but I just don't get into the bickering stuff because it's just, like I said, it's just a whole bunch of, oh, this guy's, I like my guy because he's better than the guy you like. Is just, it sound like a bunch of bitches. I ain't gonna lie, not calling anybody a bitch in particular. I'm just saying that's what it seems like, the bickering, you know. So I'm not with that. But I just definitely give it to you how I see it. And I think that how I see it is I think that there's a whole lot of capping going on. I think Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson know good gosh dang well they're not fighting each other. I think Keyshawn Davis would fight Devin Haney, and I think Devin Haney would fight Keyshawn. I think that Shakur and Devin Haney would fight each other in the right circumstances. But I think that Keyshawn Davis knows he's not fighting Devin Haney too. I think all of them know they're not fighting. You know what I'm talking about? That's just my personal opinion, though. You know, I could be wrong. We'll see. I was wrong about Xander and Boots. I said that I did not think Xander and Boots were gonna fight. And look where we at. I was happily wrong. You know, so I'll gladly be wrong that Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney or Devin Haney and Shakur fight. I'll gladly be wrong. But for me, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Especially if they sign the Zuffa. I don't think, no sir. You know, definitely if Devin Haney signs the Zuffa, he's not fighting. I find it very hard to believe that he'll fight Keyshawn Davis because I don't even think that fight will be made because the sanctioned bodies are assembling like the Avengers. They're assembling like the Avengers to fight against their common enemy in Zuffa boxing. So I don't see how that's gonna happen, you know. And they trying to team up against Zuffa. they try to team up against Zuffa, and I don't blame them. You know, I'm definitely rooting. It's not often that I root for the sanctioned bodies, but I'm definitely root for them against Dana White, because I'll be honest, I think that Dana White, if his plans go through with his business model similar to UFC, yeah, the guys that are well known right now, that have a big name, the prolific fighters, they're gonna be good. They're gonna eat well. But the guys that are coming up, the guys and girls that are coming up on Zuffa, I think it's just gonna be another deterrent for boxers to box. I think that they're gonna go and pursue other endeavors. You know, if you're getting paid chump change, man, boxing's a dangerous sport, man. We already don't have too many heavyweights fighting, and man, if Zuffa take over, people ain't gonna box no more. They're gonna do something else. Oscar says, what made me laugh was Keyshawn say Shakur not in Devin weight class, while his last fights have been at 135 and 140. Yeah, I don't really understand. Like, I don't know what they're doing, man. Edwin De Santos today, he said Edwin De Santos management canceled the WBO title shot without his permission versus Keyshawn Davis. Yep. Subsequently firing them. Yep. I have Santos beating Arroyo Valenzuela, but do you see Zuffa getting him? You know. See, I don't really know with De Los Santos, because De Los Santos is signed to Brian Norman Jr.'s promotions. I can't remember what they're called right now, but he's signed with Brian Norman. Can they make a three-way deal? Yeah. With Zuffa, yeah, especially if he wins, I can see that happening. I mean, I don't know. I have to do my research, and somebody please correct me if they know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that Brian Norman, I don't think it's a promotion. I think it's a management company. So could they just be their manager and get them a promotional deal with Zuffa? Yeah, absolutely. But if they're a promoter, which I don't think they are, if they are though, then I don't know. So I think De Los Santos signing with Zuffa would be good. I agree with you. I have De Los Santos beating Rayo in the rematch, but you never know, man. Hey, Dane. We saw what happened when Rayo got a second crack at Chris Colbert, right? So Rayo is known to set his losses straight. So he lost to De Los Santos before in a fight. That fight was great. It was short, but it was great while it lasted. Could he potentially set this one straight again? He could, but I'm going De Los Santos, man. But I don't know. This is De Los Santos' first fight since, like you said, not getting the fight against Keyshawn Davis. I think Samson Lukowicz was his manager that he let go and picked up Brian Norman, if I'm not mistaken. I think Samson Lukowicz is the one who's the same manager as David Benavidez. I think he pulled him out of the fight, which he was mad at. But I don't blame Samson, man, because if somebody misses weight, I think you should protect the fighters from themselves, man. And yeah, De Los Santos was willing to fight Keyshawn, but no, you don't fight Keyshawn. Nobody, bro. I wish more fighters would pull out if their opponent misses weight. Like John Real Casimiro. This is not a good example because he misses weight habitually too. But John Real Casimiro just fought. Who did he just fight? Former PED popping champion out of Mexico, man. He habitually misses weight. Louis Neary, right? John Real Casimiro fought Louis Neary. Louis Neary missed weight. He should have pulled out. But, I mean, he didn't have to because he ended up smoking him. He knocked him out. So he's right not to pull out. But I think he should have pulled out. But like I said, John Real Casimiro, too, he doesn't really have much ground to stand on because he is another one that also habitually misses weight, right? So they both been suspended by the Japan Boxing Commission for missing weight and violating the terms and conditions of the fight. So that's not a good example for him pulling out. But if someone misses weight, man, pull out. Like Angelo Leo was supposed to fight Rais Aleem, right? Rais Aleem came in overweight. Angelo Leo, the IBF champion at 126 featherweight, he pulled out. Good for him. You see what I'm saying? I think that more fighters should do that, man. Gustavo Lemos, when he came in 6 pounds overweight against Keyshawn should have pulled out too. He didn't have to because he knocked him out anyway. But I think that more fighters should pull out, man. Be a professional, bro. You're a professional, man. Think about that. You're a professional, bro. Be professional, man. Show some discipline. Come in, make your weight. Same with Stephen Fulton. When Stephen Fulton missed weight, Oshiki Foster should have pulled out, And then Stephen Fulton missed weight and then had the audacity to come and make excuses after that. Man, boy, go sit down, man. I like Stephen Fulton, but I ain't gonna lie, Ryan. That I already was annoyed that he missed weight, but then now you talking about, I was with my girl and I was like, bro, come on, bro. Everybody's living life, bro. Everybody lives life, man. I'm not saying that thing is perfect. I'm not saying things are perfect. I'm not saying that the current place that you're at in your life isn't harder than somebody else's, but life is a roller coaster, man. You still got to be able to adapt and adjust. That's part of being a man. You see, that's part of being a human, man or woman, but especially being a man. That's part of being a man. You got to adapt. You got to adjust, baby. You got to make it happen. You're a professional athlete, bro. Tighten up. Part of your job is to be in shape. I go work out and stay in shape, and I'm not getting paid to do it. I wish I was getting paid to. That's on me though. That's not on them. You know what I'm saying? It's true. Maybe I should go and change my profession and get paid to work out. At the very least, at the bare minimum, you should be doing is coming in to the fight in shape. That's the very first thing that you should be doing. So I really have very little sympathy for fighters that come in overweight, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Male, female, black, white, it don't matter. It don't matter. You make weight, man. And woman, make weight. That junk is corny. Man, talking about he was in a relationship and he was in a man. Get out of here. Yeah, it's crazy. He said, "Do we have any numbers on how much those regular guys are getting from Zuffa?" Yeah, remember the payouts. Yeah, we have it. I don't remember it off the top of my head. I have to look it up. But yeah, they have it. Remember they released it a while ago. I don't know if they're sticking to that firmly. I don't know how firm they are with that. But yeah, we have an idea of how much the regular fighters are making. You know, and yeah, it's not that good. But I will say this, you know, for some of them it's beneficial. If you don't have a name, then yeah, it's pretty decent and you know how much you're getting. But once you reach that plateau and you start to get stardom, that's when it's going to start to, you're going to feel like you're being taken advantage of. You know, shout out to Dane. He said, oh wait, let me see. Pat says De Los Santos been quite, yeah, he's been inactive. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm considering, man. And Rayo been handling business. Even though he did lose to Gary Anton Russell. Remember, Gary Anton Russell smoked him. I'm talking about, I ain't give Rayo a round. He made Robert Garcia look bad. You know, I got Robert Garcia as one of the best trainers in boxing. Boy, you don't win a round in a championship fight. Boy, you look bad, boy. So we got to keep that in mind as well. But he did bounce back strongly. But his last outing against a high-level opponent, he didn't look good either. Rayo. But he said, De Los Santos has been quite inactive, though. Had a one-round KO in DR, so we don't know. But his power is definitely dangerous. Yep. Shout out to Dane and say, yeah, you make a very good point. Lomachenko fought a far overweight Salido. Yep, Orlando Salido. Lomachenko should have put out too. Entering the ring at 147 in featherweight. Yep. WBO title defense, and it cost Loma his loss, and it's only a second fight. Yep, that's a fact. As part of the no pullout team, I agree with that statement. Yeah, the no pullout team is crazy. Oscar, hey yo, come on, man.
No Diddy.
Yeah, we gonna pause that. That was crazy. Yeah, no Diddy. That was part of the team. No pullout is wild. He said part of no pullout team is crazy. Come on, man. You do got it. I do got a lot of nieces and nephews running around because of Oscar's no pullout game. Shout out to my nieces and nephews. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the little ones running around, man. Oh man, thank you though, Dane. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah. Oscar's wild, Kendrick. Hey yo, no pullout team is crazy. That's wild. Hey yo, but yeah, man. But yeah, I know people are gonna say it's soft. Oh, that's soft. You should fight. No, bro. You know, bro. This is not just. I know people say, oh, if you in the street and somebody disrespect you, you gonna worry about how much they weigh or what kind of gloves you got. Bro, this is sport. You see what I'm saying? Yes, boxing is a gladiator sport. Any type of combat sport is a gladiator sport, but this is still sport, man. This is not just meet up in the backyard to go fight. This is not Kimbo, rest in peace, Kimbo Slice. This is not what Kimbo Slice used to do. You know what I'm saying? This is a professional sport that should be handled as such. And and participants should conduct themselves as professional athletes. So there are rules and regulations to abide by. You have to have certain ring glove size. Both people have to have on the same gloves. Both people should have their hand wraps past a certain protocol. You see what I'm saying? It should be acceptable. Fighters have to have a certain size ring that they're fighting in, that they agreed, that they negotiate, right? They even negotiate the order of somebody coming out, who comes out first, who comes out second. You see what I'm saying? They're fighting for money. A lot of times when you're fighting in the street, you're not fighting for money, you're fighting for pride and stuff like that. They're fighting for pride as well, but they're also fighting for money. So, you know, like when people say, oh, you should fight anybody. No, the fighter don't look, the fighter that followed the rules, that came in on point, they're not the weak ones. The one that tried to come in and have an unfair advantage, like Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney, not to mention the PEDs, right? In addition to being overweight, they're the ones that are cowards. They're the ones that are punks. You see what I'm saying? The ones that come in overweight to try to have an unfair advantage, they're the ones that are weak.
Nigga, you's a bitch.
Like we got it so backwards. Like we blame the fighter that made weight for not wanting to fight the guy or the girl that came in overweight. Why do you think they came in overweight? Because they want an advantage. Just because you have an advantage doesn't mean that you're going to automatically win. I'm not saying that. But if you come in heavier and you're not in heavyweight, if you're not in the heavyweight division, then you're trying to have an unfair advantage. And they have weight divisions for a reason. That's why boxing is separated by weight divisions, because the weight matters. Like I don't even understand, bro. Like, what is there to argue about? There's nothing to argue about, nothing to debate, nothing to discuss. Shout out to my guy Anubis. My guy, what's good, bro? Oh, shout out to my guy Dane as well, man. New member in the building, man. Shout out to you, man. Respect, man. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Boxing Talk family. I forgot you did that off stream. Shout out to everybody that renews their membership off stream too. Thank you so much, and commits to the channel for 30 days, man. I appreciate that.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
You know, we not going nowhere. You know, sometimes it takes us a little while, you know, stuff we got to handle, but we not going nowhere. We're here. As long as God allows us to be, we are here. Shout out to my guy, Dub in the building, my guy, big member in the building with the gold glove. You see him? Kendrick with the teal. That's, hey, that's seniority right there. You feel me? Shout out to you. My guy, let's be real in the building. What's good, brethren? Big salute. Dove said, salute, my guy. He said, GTD on vacation. Hey, I heard they say the rumor is that, I don't know. First of all, I don't care. But I did see it. So the rumor is that, whether it's true or not, I don't know. They said that Gervonta fled the country. That man fled the country. I don't think it's true, but they say he on vacation for real. They say he went on vacation, but he out there dancing in France or something. He out there in Galapagos, hiding for the law. He out there dancing on the island. He come back to the mainland, boy, he might be cooked. Oh, man, my play, man. Shout out to you. Thank you. Anubis said, shout out to you, Dane. He said, Anubis says, all the Ryan fans say Haney is trash. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. You preaching. You preach right now. All the Ryan fans say Haney is trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Yet Ryan's best accomplishment is cheating Devin.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on. And that's, bro, y'all know I'm not, there's no shame in my, I'm not a Ryan fan because I didn't like some of those racist antics or whatever. But as far as before that, I used to like Ryan Garcia. In fact, y'all know that I've been rocking with I put money on Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. But I'm a fan of boxing, man. And well, man, I don't want nobody to cheat, man. You see what I'm saying? So once he cheated, that's it. You know, and I didn't even throw him away because he cheated. I stopped liking him because of the racist stuff you were saying the N-word, and say he was gonna resurrect George Floyd, who was a victim of police brutality, just to kill him again, like, and saying F blacks and F Muslims. I can't rock with that. You see what I'm saying? In addition to him cheating, I could forgive him for the cheating, but you know, hopefully we should forgive, right? You know, that's a good thing to do. That's a biblical thing to do, a righteous thing to do. God, you know, I want God to forgive me, so we should forgive, but I'm just not there yet. You feel me? But Ryan Garcia, I will give him credit where credit is due. He was the guy that fought everybody. That's why I liked him, because he fought Tank, even though he lost. I still rocked with him because I was like, okay, bet this man fights people. He fought Rolly, he lost, but I still rocked with him. You know, I still respect the fact that he fought him. And I think that he would fight Shakur, and he did fight Devin. But when he cheated Devin and came in overweight, it's like, that's what people applaud him for, and it's crazy. Ryan Garcia's best win is probably Mario Barrios. like, who's Ryan's best win? Like, Mario Barrios, right? Maybe Luke Campbell? Who do you think's better, Mario Barrios or Luke Campbell? I would say Mario Barrios, because Mario Barrios is a former champion, and I'm so disappointed that he lost. You know, Mario Barrios, man, he disappointed me, but anyway, yeah, Mario Barrios probably his best win. So Ryan Garcia, if you're being honest, his best accomplishment was cheating Devin Haney. That's a fact. But then you tell me Devin Haney is trash, who's the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Yeah, he got knocked down, but he didn't get stopped. You got to respect him for getting up. You know what I'm saying? He got dropped though, you know. he definitely had, face down, booty up, you know what I'm talking about? But he got up every single time and he got cheated. So, it's just so crazy to me. Shout out to Dane. Dane brought up Orlando Salido, right? He came in overweight against Lomachenko. And a lot of people say that. And they should. We should say that because that's what transpired. That's what happened. That's facts. But then those same people, I'm not talking about Dane, I'm just talking about people in general. People would say, oh, Lomachenko, that loss shouldn't count because Salido came in overweight. Well, then why are you trolling Devin Haney for losing to Ryan Garcia when that fight was actually turned into a no contest? Because not only did he come in overweight, he also compounded his advantage by also coming in on PEDs. But these people don't really like boxing, though. They just like a certain fighter and they dislike another fighter so much that it makes them emotional and incapable of using logic and thinking logically and critically. So that's what it is. Shout out to my brother Dub, dropping the $5 on the brother, man. I appreciate that. Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Yes, sir. Big biscuits in the chat, man. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, man, with the big $5, man. Shout out to my brother Dub, man. Out there on, man. Hey, Dub, I was supposed to be in Arizona, man. I was supposed to go to the Bam fight. It's just because my work, like, I thought we were gonna be out earlier than what we were. And so it was just too expensive, man. Not for the fight, but for the hotel and all that stuff. Man, I should have hollered at you and let me stay in the guest room. You know what I'm talking about? But I did get media credentials to go to the O'Shea Jones versus Carranza rematch tomorrow night. I'm still thinking about going. It's in Orlando. I think ahead, man. Thank God for that. So I got media credentials from MVP. Shout out to MVP. You know what I'm saying? One time for Jake Paul and them. They gave me media credentials again. So shout out to them, but I just don't know if I want to make that 3-hour drive because, we got the World Cup on. We got the NBA Finals on tomorrow. We got Bam Rodriguez versus Antonio Vargas for his first fight, his debut at 118 pounds, bantamweight. You see what I'm saying? For that WBA belt. It's just a lot of things going on tomorrow, man. No disrespect. One time for the ladies. I love the ladies. But I don't know if I want to miss all them things. You know what I'm talking about? All those festivities while I'm at their fights, so... And then Tierra Brown, she's fighting too. Tierra Brown, I can't remember her opponent's name. Who's she fighting again? Can't remember right now. But she's defending her belt, Tierra Brown, the Dark Menace. So I want to go, but that's a long... Hey, man, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Duarte, Oscar Duarte is and that win's getting better and better too, Pat. That's a fact. Oscar Duarte, that win is improving. That win is getting better. That it's aging well. That's a fact. Oscar Duarte, that's a good win. Shout out to Anubis said, come on, Doc. Luke Campbell way better than Barrios. Hey, chill, bro. Hey, chill, Anubis. Shout out to Luke Campbell, though. My guy, Oscar Perez, renewing that membership for 15 months, man. Said he's not going nowhere.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
Shout out to my guy, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that renews their membership. All the members, shout out to y'all, man. It keeps us going and growing. Keep the lights on, baby. He said, go get that work in, Doc. Run it up to... I'm thinking about it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking about it, man. I'm thinking about it, man. For real. I'm thinking about sliding tomorrow, man. And you never know, too. What if, what if some other fighters there, I'm thinking about it, Kendrick. I'm thinking about it, bro. It's a 2-hour drive. It's not too bad. Can't complain. I might slide. Nick's making it look easy. Hey, Oscar, I don't know now. That last game wasn't easy. It was miraculous. It was fantastic. It wasn't easy, though. But, yeah. If they 3-1, they're making it look easy by the quantity, by the count. 3-1, 3 games to 1. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But the game's been intriguing, man. That's why I want to see it. I love basketball, man. Boxing and basketball like my 1 and 2, man. So that's the only thing, Kendrick. I know I'm going to miss the game if I go out there. I know I'm going to miss the Bam fight if I go out there. You know what I'm saying? Because if I go, I'm not going to get a hotel because they be taxing at the Caribe Royale, boy. Like last time I went out there, I got a hotel. They be taxing, bro. So if I go out there, I'll just make it a day trip. I'll be on the road, bro. Man, I don't know, dog. That's the only thing, man. Fox sold that game. He should have just held the ball, though. Yeah, I agree. But I ain't gonna lie, though. I think people are being a little too hard on De'Aaron Fox. I'm gonna say this. I know you might disagree, Kendrick. You a thinker too. I respect that. But I'm gonna just give you this to think about. You probably already considered it too. What is De'Aaron Fox known for? Remember when he was on the Kings? This had to be not too long ago, right? He's known as what? He was literally, this is not even fact, look it up. He's literally, I'm sure you know, you watch basketball a lot. He was literally known as the fastest player in the NBA. So when he said that, he did a post-game interview and he was like, man, you know, hey, I didn't think he was going to be able to catch me. There's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, you know, he ain't going to catch him. I promise, bro, as there's a God above. When I saw the play happen in real time, I thought it was a breakaway dunk. OG Anunoby came out like Usain Bolt out the blocks. OG Anunoby, he said, Mr. Jackson, he said, access denied. Like, bro, I was not expecting that. So it's kind of like, yes, I agree. The circumstances, it's a low IQ play because they could just ran out the clock. But to me, it reminded me of Tayshaun Prince and Reggie Miller. Remember when Tayshaun Prince did a miraculous chase down block on Reggie Miller in the playoffs, or even like the countless LeBron chase down blocks? That's what it reminded me of. I was more so impressed and surprised by Anunoby's chase down capability than I was mad at De'Aaron Fox in real time. So that's why I'm not giving him a pass, because you're right. He should have just dribbled it out. But I ain't gonna lie. I'll be lying if I sat up here and said that I thought anybody would have caught him. Like, De'Aaron Fox he's fast. He was literally known as the fastest player in the NBA. So I believe him when he said he thinks he's gonna get caught. He just got caught. And once it catches your ass, you caught. That boy got hawked down, bro. OG Anunoby hawked him down. I just thought it was more so. I was more so impressed with OG than I was disappointed in De'Aaron. That's just me. But you know, I'm not a big Spurs fan or a big Knicks fan. So if you're a big Spurs fan, I can understand being mad. But I just feel like sometimes we gotta, you know, it's a bang bang play, man. It's a bang bang play. Pat said, "How can you come back from 29 points? You feel me? That was crazy." That's what I'm saying too. They were down by 20. They came back from 20. It was a whole lot more than just De'Aaron Fox. You know, hey man, I'm gonna need you to run the court quickly. If I was a coach, I would have called a timeout on his ass like it's 2K. That's true. Yeah. The coach got to take some blame, dude. I'm not absolving him from guilt. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, De'Aaron Fox should not be blamed. He's a veteran. You know, he should be blamed, but I think people are going in on him a little bit too much. Even if he made it, he's only up 3. J.R. Smith type play. That's true. He's only up 3. You're right about that, because they're only up 1 at the time. Only up 1 at a time. Kendrick said, Clarissa might pull up for. Hey, Kendrick is right about that. Clarissa might pull up. But no. Remember, she's banned. No. She banned. Remember, she pull up, she gonna get escorted out. hey, she can't pull up, bro. She banned, bro. They gonna call the cops on poor Clarissa, man. That's crazy. But Alicia might be there, but I don't really rock with. I don't rock with her, man. I don't like Amanda or Alicia like that. I can't really say I dislike Alicia too, but sometimes I'm like more indifferent. Like, I think she corny though. I don't like Amanda. I don't really like Alicia either. I feel like they be piling on and be trying to do Clarissa dirty. I'm not even talking about like, I'm talking about like outside of a boxing sense. You know, they be trying to, I don't know, I don't be trying to make everything about ethnicity and complexion, but they be doing a lot of colorism, racism type things towards Clarissa. I don't like that. But anyway, I don't really rock with them like that. But he said, Dave said, oh no, the loss versus Toledo definitely counts. Oh no, I know. I wasn't talking about you. I was just saying people in general. I wasn't talking about you, Dave. Or even your comment. Your comment just, got the gears going in my head. Say, even though the ref never called any of his multiple low blows, but it counts. Quite frankly, his W over Gary Allen Russell could have gone either way too. Nah, and to me, I think those. So I'm not gonna lie, Dave. I'm Jamaican, and Nicholas Axeman Walters. You remember him? I know you remember Axeman. Remember he beat Nonito Donaire? And when he beat Nonito Donaire, Lomachenko went and fought Axeman and no masked him. I said, oh nah, Lomachenko bad. I was hurt, but I had to respect him. In my personal opinion, I think people forget about that Axeman Walters fight. I think that's one of Lomachenko's best wins. Obviously, Gary Russell, like you said, great win, and it could have went either way. It was a close fight, but I think the right person won. To me, that's one of his best wins, and Axeman Walters is one of his best wins. Yeah. The Axeman one was impressive because he just came off of stopping Filipino Flash who I think is one of the underappreciated. Nonito's been fighting too long, but I think he's an underappreciated legend of the sport. But he said, Lomachenko, no mas him, boy. Gosh, dang. No mas my boy Axeman. He said, you all the Bam skills and IQ underrated, bro. The man is high in the pound for pound is a small weight with minimal accomplishments. He said, missing messages. I do like Bam, though. I like Bam, too. Alicia is a goofy. Yeah, I think she's goofy. I think she's goofy. You know, I dumped the Knicks in '99. They made me cry too much. Then I worked for the Suns players for years, and Kobe was alive. I'll never see a champion. Hey, that's a fact. Hey, ain't too late to go back, Dub. Just go back, bro. We ain't gonna be mad at you. We ain't gonna tell nobody. We ain't gonna tell nobody, bro. Just go back, bro. Just go back to the New York Knicks, man. Y'all need this chip. Which y'all ain't getting since the 70s, right? So yeah, 50-some years, man. Go back, bro. We ain't gonna hold it against you. You was born out there too, ain't it, Dub? You was born out there. Hey, nah, you deserve it, bro. Go back. Go back until 2027. You feel me? Good Lord, willing we see it, we make it there. But yeah, man. So like, I'm still thinking about going though, Kendrick. Hey, I might go out there and get jumped. I'm at Serrano and at least your Bumgarner might jump me, man. But yeah, I'm thinking about it though, cause they got Stephanie Hahn too. You know, I don't really rock with Stephanie Hahn either. She might, they might triple team me. I might enjoy it, hell. But Carolyn Dubois, I rock with Carolyn Dubois. Though. I like Carolyn Dubois. Michaela Mayer might be out there. She probably gonna be out there. I like Michaela Mayer. I might need to go, bro. You might be right, cause Michaela Mayer might be out there. You never know. Coach Rell, I believe, is training O'Shea Jones. And he has some ties with Oshiki Foster. Oshiki Foster might be out there. I love to meet. You just never know who you'll see. So you have a very good point, Kendrick. I'm thinking about it though. I'm thinking about it, man. But yeah, man, I just wanted to come in and chop it up with y'all. I just wanted to chop it up with y'all for a while. I ain't been here in a minute, so y'all been checking out the videos. I appreciate y'all. What do y'all think about the new setup? I just want to switch it up a little bit, switch up the scenery. If we prefer the studio, we go back to the studio. You know what I'm talking about? We still got the studio. Let's see if I got the studio. We still got the studio. If we want to go back to the studio, we go back to the studio. But I just want to switch it up a little bit. I have some time, rearrange, finally decorate my wall and stuff like that. So, we got the Tings back there. We got Martin Luther King back there. We got, former President Obama out there. You got Malcolm X. You got Nelson Mandela. You got Bob Marley. I'm talking about peace, power, respect, dignity, love, and thinker. We got what's this? Black Panther paraphernalia. We got a line up there with the love. You can't see the line because it's behind the chat box. You know what I'm saying? Back there, you feel me? We got another line. We got Cloud. What you know about Cloud, man? What y'all know about Cloud, man? We got Jesus back there. What y'all know about Cloud, man? My boy, I know since kindergarten. He went out to Japan. Actually, he lives in Japan now. He's my best friend growing up. He's Filipino cat, and he went out to Japan. He's living out there now, and he saw this and he bought it for me, man. You know what I'm saying? For those of you know, this is Final Fantasy VII, man. It's the main character, the main protagonist in Final Fantasy VII. Cloud Strife. Come on, man. And if you see, the doll is like it's pixelated like how he looked in Final Fantasy VII. You see the cube pixels? That just dope, man. That just fire. He said, let's see what Pat said. Anubis says, Bam better fight Inoue after Vargas. Inoue ain't gonna sit around and wait. I don't think so. I ain't gonna lie. Even if Bam looks spectacular against Antonio Vargas, Antonio Vargas been stopped before. And I'm not holding that against him. But that boy been stopped before. I think I like his ambition. I like the fact that he could have fought somebody else. He said, nah, I'm gonna fight Bam. He ain't run for no smoke. You got to respect Antonio Vargas. And he's a Floridian too, if I'm not mistaken, fellow Floridian. So I rock with him. But I just think that even if Bam destroys him, for me personally, I would prefer for Bam to get an introductory fight at 122 before he fights Naoya Inoue. Because you got to remember, Bam is from 115, right? He's moving up to 118 now. He's from junior bantamweight, moving up to... He was unified at junior bantamweight, moving up to 118 at bantamweight. His first fight, fighting the champion. What does it sound like? Sound like Terrence Bud Crawford, doesn't it? Less accomplished, but, And then he's going to move up and fight a great legendary fighter in Naoya Inoue. I just think that you're kind of setting yourself up for a disaster, But like you said, Anubis, I'm not saying that Naoya Inoue should wait around either. Maybe Maybe Naino gets another fight at 122, or maybe he moves up to 126 and that fight is just too long gone. It is what it is. But what I don't want to see, similar with Shakur and Devin, like when I see great fights, I want to minimize the amount of excuses. You see what I'm saying? I can't stand the excuses, you know? So if I see a great fight, I want to see each combatant be put in the best position to represent themselves in the best way possible. So I don't want Bam and Naino to fight, and then if Naino wins, which I think Naino would win, if he wins, you know, I don't want people to say, oh, well, you know, Bam Rodriguez, he wasn't used to 122. He rushed his way up there. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's just like I don't know, it puts a little blemish, kind of taints the fight. So I would prefer Bam better fight. Oh, I read that already. If only, yeah, we call it. Say, yeah, Doc, I forgot to. Hey, yo. Yeah, Nick. Hey, yo. He said, yeah, Nick. Oh, I'm asleep.
No, did he?
He said, I forgot to mention the background. It's fire. Keep it like that. I appreciate it, Pat. Appreciate you, bro. Big salute. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I know you, man, Doc. YouTube blocked OBZ out. Oh, I'm asleep. I'm asleep. Bro, underrated guy was Kishore Taraji, Kazuta Ioka, Rung Masai. Yep. Bam is getting a lot of love. That's the curse of the small weights. Yeah. Kishore had way more accomplishments than Bam. Yeah, that's true. And he wasn't in top 10 while Bam was top. That's true. Kishore Taraji. That's true. Bam Rodriguez is just now going to 118 for the WBA title. Now, anyways, a little too soon. I thank you, Dane. I agree. Even though I understand why people want the fight, let Jesse conquer another division first. Yeah, bro. If it was up to me, he would go fight. He would get undisputed with which one of the Maloney's just won? Who just beat Wilibardo Garcia? Was it Andrew Maloney or Jason Maloney? I believe it was Andrew Maloney just beat Wilibardo Garcia for the IBF belt. I would prefer for Bam, win or lose against Antonio Vargas, to go back down and get undisputed. He was only one belt away. He had the WBC, WBA, WBO. He just needed the IBF belt. He could have been undisputed at junior bantamweight 115, and that'll really help his argument to what Oscar is saying. Oscar has a good point. If Bam had undisputed, then you know it'll be very, very hard to argue him not being high in the top 10 pound for pound list. But right now, it does seem like they're fast tracking him along the pound for pound list. You know, I think Bam is a great fighter, but I do think he has to prove a little bit more, because while he's been beating people, he's been beating older legends like El Gallo. You know what I'm saying? Juan Francisco Estrada, the Rooster. You know, he's an older champion. Rungbasai, older champion. Carlos Cuadras, older champion. You know, he beats these guys, but they're older. Like, to me, a lot of people look at them as being Bam's best wins. To me, Bam's best win is an undefeated Sonny Edwards. His best win is an undefeated Fumuleli Cafu. His best win, his absolute best win, is Puma Martinez, in my personal opinion. But to Oscar's point, right? A lot of us, outside of us, we don't really watch the smaller weights. You know, outside of us, you know, we're real boxing fans. A lot of boxing fans don't really watch the smaller weights. So of course we're gonna want to see Naoya Inoue versus Bam Rodriguez, because those are the only two small guys that people heard of. You know, they don't know nobody else. You know, they don't know Wilibardo Garcia. They don't know Antonio Vargas. They don't know Seiya Tsutsumi. They don't know Andrew Maloney. They don't. Only time people know Andrew Maloney and Jason Maloney because both of them got stopped by Junto Nakatani and Naoya Inoue. That's it. That's all they know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking them, but it's just a cold hard reality. So that's why anytime a smaller guy is good, they want to immediately throw him in there with Naoya Inoue. It's like, bro, like, nah, bro, like, give him some time. You set him up for failure. So I agree, Dane. Let him get his feet wet first. Doc, would you ever co-host TBV? The Boxer Voice? I don't know, real. I don't know, man. If they reached out, I would never say no, I wouldn't. But I'm gonna be honest too. I'm gonna keep it real. Let's be real. I'm the type of person to where I'd rather, and God forbid, because I want to be big. You know, I want to be the biggest boxing channel out. But I would rather be small and know that I earned it than be big, riding somebody's coattails or using them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew the Boxer Voice and it was like an organic friendship or relationship, I have no problem. Like, you see me on other, well, I don't know if you see me, but I've been on Just Dude's channel before. I've been on Ryan from the 6, you know, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Talk Up North, formerly known as Boxing Talk Up North, you know, Big North. Been on his platform. I've been on some other 2 Cents platform. I've been on a couple people's platform, right? I love it. I like to. But I know, you know what I'm saying? I know them, you know. I don't know him. And I feel like if I was to do that, I feel like a lot of people, they're just disingenuous, man. A lot of people use people. You know, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people that go to his platform, that are on his platform, they're just using them, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's whack. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just want to be seen. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't want to even come off like that's ever my intention. So I just like how we growing organically. But yeah, so I don't want to say no, I wouldn't. But at the same time, you know, I'm cool where I'm at. You alright, man? And plus, Kendrick know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but you know, some things I've been hearing that, you know, don't really align with some of my values. You know what I'm talking about? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Oh man. Shout out to Danny. Said, I wanted to see Bam get that IBF shot for Undisputed. Exactly, but the IBF mandatory who was offered substantial step-aside money turned it down. Yep. And to be fair, Team Maloney, they said, oh, we're not going to take any step-aside money. Yeah, he was like, yeah. I don't blame him either, because look, it worked out. He won. So he believed in himself, and he got the dub. So he was right. But like you said, the Maloneys and their manager, can't remember his manager's name right now off the top of my head, but they're like, yeah, we're not taking step-aside money. Kendrick says, stay away from that. Kendrick says, stay away from that. Bro, what's crazy is I went on my whole, I just gave my whole little spiel, and I didn't even know Kendrick said something. And I said in my spiel that Kendrick know what I'm talking about. So see, there go right there. You know, he said no 360 deals on this. So he got a 360 deal. A 360 deal. That 360 deal put you in a bad position, boy. You put them hands on you, had to fight back.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up.
360 deal.
Like that, like that.
That 360 hitting you from all sides, boy. Oh, man, that's funny. But shout out to you, Let's Be Real. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you, bro. You know, I think, yeah. I said what I said. Like, you really think Maloney hang with Bam? Heck no. Heck no. What? Bam walked through Maloney. No disrespect to Maloney. I think Bam walked through Maloney. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he should go back down and get that Undisputed. But you got to respect Maloney. Maloney is, I don't know how many times he's been champion. Maloney's been champion quite a few times. So shout out to him, man. You got to respect it. But no, I think Bam smokes him. I think Bam smokes him. 118, Ryosuke Nishida, the best fight for Bam. That'd be a good fight too. Ryosuke Nishida, he only has one loss, and that's to Junto Nakatani. You know, that's why Junto Nakatani got that IBF belt off of Ryosuke Nishida. So, Dane says facts. The majority of fans can't name more than 4 boxers. Facts. Below 130. Yep. There are other great fights to make. Yep. Nah, dog, you say too many truths for the show. I tell you that. He said, nah, dog, you say too many truths for that show. I'll tell you what, shit on the clips on that show. No, I respect what they do. Like I said, last thing I want to do is I don't want to beef for nobody, man. I don't want to beef for nobody's show. So I respect it. Hey, I'm trying to get where they at. You feel me? And past that. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying no as a diss. Just, you know, everybody ain't supposed to. Everybody don't mix with everybody. You know, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. But I appreciate you bringing that up. Let's be real, because that makes me feel like you think I could contribute to that space. So that's fire. If you feel like I have good takes in boxing, so I thank you for that. He said, "Data white privilege." You feel me? The 360 deal. 360 deal. He said, "We do go." Oh man, Oscar fun. But yeah, hey, anybody want to call in, man? I'm taking calls. Hold on, let me pull up my. If anybody wants to call in, my fault. I forgot. I think we got somebody in the back. My bad, Oscar. Is that Oscar? Who is that? Let me see. I got somebody in the back. That is my boy Oscar Mi Hermano Cardinal. Yeah, we do gotta grow though, man. We do gotta grow. And I will say this too. Networking is a good way to grow. Networking is a good way to grow, but it should be real. You know, it shouldn't, like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there that I might not be in certain spaces, but I be hearing things because, you know, I feel like I'm a good dude, and when you're a good dude, people look out for you. And you know, there's people that be talking crazy. As long as they don't bring it to my front door, I won't throw him out that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? As long as hey, you keep talking behind my back, that's cool. As long as you don't bring it to my front door, man, I won't toss you out that motherfucker. But there's a lot of people like that. They'll go and smile in your face and talk trash behind your back, and we gonna make it, bro. What they say, what God has for you, can't nobody take it from you. You know what I'm saying? So, what God has for you can't be for you. That's what they say. That's how they say in Jamaica. What God has for you can't be for you. Meaning that what God has for you, can't nobody take it away. So it might take me a little longer to get there, but we gonna get there. Oh man, my guy.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, bro?
I heard Bam underrated. I was like, what's going?
How you doing, man? How's the World Cup treating you before you get to the Bam talk, man? Tell me something good, man. Mexico turned up.
Hey, man. We avenged ourselves from 2010. We beat the Bafanas. We're up. Now we just need a tie, another win, and we're through to the next stage.
Let's go.
Canada, though. Ooh. Against Bosnia. Like, ooh. Tied up.
Tied up right now. Canada, man.
Bad place.
And
the US of A is playing tonight.
Yeah, they play tonight at 6. Who they play again?
Paraguay.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. The US of A too petty, man. Too much ego in that locker room.
You better tighten
But I
up.
ain't gonna lie though. I get kind of offended whenever they're like, oh, they exaggerate the fouls, and they be the same motherfucker reacting to NBA. Like, you know what I mean? Them guys, you just touch them, like they got shot on the back.
Yep.
But nah, today I think USA wins. I thought Canada was gonna win, but I got that one wrong. But aside from that, I was like, Bam underrated. Explain to me underrated, dog, because that guy has very little compliments for a small weight. I'm not talking about your regular guy. For a small weight, he's high on the pound for pound, and he's underrated. I can name you 6 guys who have more accomplishments than Bam right now, and they were in the same time. They weren't even listed on the pound for pound. I don't get that underrated statement.
Who said he underrated? Pat said that? You know Pappy Waller.
I was like, what the fuck you mean underrated?
You know our brother Pappy Waller. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to say.
No, Bam is good though.
Yeah. I don't want to say that he's overrated, but I will say he's closer to overrated than he is underrated. I don't think he's overrated, but he's closer to over. Yeah, because like who doesn't have him on like pound for pound like 3 or 4, and you know what I'm saying? Like, which I think he's on my pound for pound list, but I think I have like maybe like 5 or 6, maybe like 5 or 6. But I think he's a very good fighter. The way he's kicking people behind is phenomenal. But
the way he did Puma, the way he did Cafu,
the way he did Puma, Cafu, right? Exactly. But I want to see him like if he gets a belt tonight against Vargas, that's another division. That's another reason to put him up there. But the fact that he's already up there, I agree with you. Yeah.
Like he's already up there, like
right,
bro. Like they know he was undisputed and wasn't even up there.
Right.
He had to take 2 undisputed to be up there.
Right. Fact.
Anyway, he was undisputed. He was number 8.
That's a fact. Yeah. So I agree with you on that. Shout out to my brother Pat. You know he loved Bam. You know, Pat gonna rock for his guys now. You know he gonna rock with Bam. He gonna rock with Benavidez. He gonna rock with who else? But Pat like a lot. I can't remember. Yep. And Taba too. I think he likes the Taba a lot too. I think so. Shout out to Pat, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pat.
Nah, man. Man, oh man, Vargas Bam, bro. I think this is gonna be Bam's, and I've been saying that since the Cafu fight, but I think this is gonna be Bam's biggest challenge to date. I think he walks through Vargas. I could be wrong. He's been laid off, but everything points that way. But hey, if he does, shout out to him.
Yeah.
Take 118. Now let's remember, Vargas is a champion in recent. So
Yep.
Tatsumi is a full champion.
Yep.
The reason he got Vargas is because Eddie Hearn don't want to put him on that market.
Bro,
if
Bam
you
and
go
Say
to the
Susumi would
market-
be a good one.
Because if you go to the market, Bam is not the top dog.
Mm.
You know, I hate to say it, but over here, like the guy said it just now, bro, most of Americans can't even name you 4 guys below 130,
Nope.
let alone 118.
Nope. That's a fact. Can't do it.
So
Can't do it.
yeah, I like it. Bam is the small draw over there. Now if he beats Vargas, then he beat champion Reese's, or he beat a champion Reese's, but he gotta beat Say Tsumi for me.
Mm-hmm.
Say Tsumi, Risuke Nishida. The other guy, I can't remember the other guy. What's the other guy? The other champion.
Where?
There's 2 more champions.
At where?
At 118.
118. You said Seiya Susumi. You said Antonio Vargas. You said Takuma Inoue. I think he beats Takuma Inoue.
Yeah, he needs to fight Takuma.
Yeah, and he said that. I made a video about that. So look at Pat said, because I know you did. But thank you for that. Pat says because people not talking about. Look, Pat. Let me show you something. You see, that's why we do what we do. People not talking about it, but we are. This was what, June 9th. Come on now, June 9th. That's what, today's the 12th. 3 days ago, I made a video about Bam fighting Takuma Inoue and Antonio Vargas on his path to get to Naoya Inoue. See, because they don't do boxing like us, man. They be talking bickering. You know, they be talking about, oh, my favorite fighter is better than your favorite fighter. That's all they do. We talk boxing around here, man. But
hey, bro, but I'll tell you what, the boxing boys, if you do go, they're gonna make a shit ton of clips off of you.
Why you say that
right now?
Why you say that, bro? Why you say that, bro?
You say too many truths, and I know you. I know your temper. You're gonna be that lady. You're gonna be on that lady's head top. And big old boy.
Oh, the lady and big old boy is crazy.
Bro, he'd be wild and he'd be like, Shakur is not beating Tio, and then Tio was hurt. He stepped by his foot. That wasn't Tio. I know you're bringing all the receipts.
Bro, I got to, man. I got to, bro. Cause people be wilding, man. They be too people be too fanned out, like, and that's okay. And that's what what the foundation of your stuff is on. But I just can't be that fanned out. Like, I have fighters I like too, but I can't be that fanned out where I'm just saying nonsensical BS, bro. Like, come on, dog.
Oh yeah. No, I know you, and especially if they get you going, especially big old boy, just because I know his clip or his take. Let's call him Doughboy. If Doughboy goes on, we're gonna be calling him all kinds of. Yeah, I know that. I done seen you and Ty go at it. I know that.
I know, bro. I be trying to change, man. Change for the better, bro. He said he be lying on purpose. I said the rest of the media, not you, not. Yeah, I know, Pat. I know.
You know what you should do if you do go to tomorrow's event at MVP?
Yep, the women's card.
Wear Clarissa Shields shirt.
Oh, that would be fire, bro. I don't even have one. I need a Clarissa Shields. I need more boxing shirts. All the boxing shirts I have, mostly Ali.
Yeah, you need one.
I got a Pacquiao shirt. I got a Pacquiao Mayweather shirt too. But the rest of them Ali, I think. I need to get some more boxing shirts, bro. That's a fact. That'd be hey. Now I gotta go get one just in case I get. I go to another event, bro. Wear a Quote shirt and have Clarissa on there. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting jumped at the MVP joint. Hey yo.
Alicia's gonna pull out the Glocky.
Hey, facts.
But she don't know how to use it. She ain't street like that.
Yep. And Kendrick said he be lying on purpose. Pat said, "What's up, Oscar? This is my man." That's like, no, he talking the big boy. He talking about Tone, Two-Tone.
Doughboy.
You're right. He ain't this nest.
Nah, that's cool. I like it. I think he brings the recent into that show.
Yeah, shout out to them. They got a good platform. He got a good platform. He been doing it for a long time too, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, not gonna lie though. If I was like, me and you like do something, I'd probably be Doughboy myself. I'd be having the same kind of take. Hey,
yeah,
you ain't lying.
Yeah.
If a face like that, oh, you ain't lying. I'd be like, yeah, Shakur ain't shit.
Yep, you need that though. It needed to. People like to hear the.
Yeah, you need that guy.
The outrageous. Yeah, that guy. Right. You need somebody to be that guy. With the outrageous takes and. And that's why I told y'all that. Sometimes I feel like I'll be lying, man. Sometimes I really feel like I'm not trying to be funny, but sometimes I feel like we know too much. Like sometimes I need to get better at just coming out with outrageous takes and not thinking and just saying what I what I feel, like instead of putting so much thought into it and just say some stuff, man, and just see how it go.
You want to do that? Just make a video. Bam, shouldn't be as high in the
Right.
pop, 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 pop.
Right. You know, I kind of get there with the job attire stuff. Like, not that I say stuff that doesn't make sense, but the reception that I get is like people see me as a job attire hating channel. And it's just funny. Like, I don't hate on job attire, but it's just because they just don't listen to what I'm saying. A lot of them, so they think I'm hating on him. But like, but that shows you though. I think you. I don't know if you saw the messages. I think I was talking to you and I was talking to you and Ty. It's like an easy way to grow. I mean, if I just make, that's why a lot of channels, they focus on one fighter because that's the fastest way to grow. And I even have like, you know, I was like did some research on it and stuff like that too. You know, even ChatGPT, not saying they know everything, but because they don't, but they were like, yeah, they recommended I talk about Nia Inoue and gosh dang, who else they say? They said Nia Inoue. It said freaking Charlie Suarez. John Real Casamero, Job Attire. I can't remember who the other one was. And
Navarrete, I think.
Navarrete, yep. And those are my most viewed videos. So that's what they're going off of. They're saying they should focus more on that instead of talking about all of boxing. I just can't do that, bro. That's boring. Who the heck wants to talk about one fighter? Like, that's boring, bro.
Not just one fighter. Look at the divisions they're telling you. Cruiserweight,
you feel
130, 122, 118.
Right. That's
like ain't nobody paying attention to those divisions.
Yeah. It's like, how many times did I say Inoue's the man?
If you do in the chat, tell me 3 names. No, let's make it interesting. Tell me 5 names that are not champions in those divisions.
In what? In which ones? Oh yeah, in those divisions. Exactly. People can't do that.
Cruiserweight,
right?
130, 122, 118.
That's hard, bro. Yeah, we can, but nobody else can. They don't know who. That's what somebody told me that. When CBS beat Ryan Rozicki, they're like, oh yeah, see, that's the guy that you want to fight, Job Attire. I'm like, yeah, he lost, but it was still a good fight. Like, I never said that Job Attire. In fact, the video that I said I think Job Attire beats Ryan Rozicki, but I think that's a good fight. But people don't listen, bro. They just, I don't know. Anyway.
I hope Job Attire fights CBS. Oh, man, you're going to see me clowning Job Attire. Ooh, like, yeah.
Bro, if he loses, bro.
No, I hope he beats CBS. Ooh, you're going to. Yeah, I already got I already know what I'm going to say. Yeah, he can do that when he was a champion. Take that, Job Attire fan. The Aussie.
Yeah.
Fuck the fuck. Because I gotta be in your comment section. I'll be like, the fuck you telling me idiot for?
Bro, everybody's an idiot, bro. Like, you know what's so funny? Somebody left a comment because I said that people said that Noah McCain ducked Jai. And somebody said, nobody said Noah McCain ducked Jai. And then if you scroll down the comment, somebody there said Noah McCain ducked Jai. Everybody ducked Jai. It's like, bro, they just be so mad. Like, they literally, man, some of them be crazy, bro. It was funny. I laughed. I can't front. I be laughing.
And that waiting from Job Attire to super, bro, it just seems like a built-in excuse at this point. Like, there's no fights happening. There's no good cards happening. There's good fights. I watch the cards because I'm a boxing addict. But there's some good fights, but you don't have the main guys. They have Berlanga, Hitchens, Rayo.
Who they gonna fight though, Oscar? Who they gonna fight, bro?
Rematch Rayo. They're gonna fight a bunch of Glantons.
Exactly. Like, bro, Berlanga was supposed to fight. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little excited. I was nervous, but I'm glad they switched it. But he was about to fight. Remember, he was about to fight Hot Rod, and then you see how quick they switched that up. Who's he fighting now? I don't remember who he's fighting now.
You know how whenever you pick a character that's not a log, you got a silhouette.
Yeah.
That's what Berlanga's fighting.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember who, because it's supposed to be a quote unquote double co-main, double header with Rich Hitchens is fighting Salas. I can't remember who Edgar Berlanga's fighting, but it ain't Hot Rod.
Yeah,
they thought about that. And that goes back
And
to
it's
what I was
just
saying
like,
before. It's like Berlanga, they're not, if you're starting Zuffa, they're not going to put you in a big fight first. You know, they still want you to do good. They're still a promotional company. So, and they put Berlanga in there with Hot Rod would put that boy to sleep, man.
oh yeah, not just that. Like, talk about the like the sustainability of it. It's like, yeah, you fight one fight at Sufa, but if that's not a Sufa event, you're still under contract. Conor Ben's still under contract.
Facts.
You
Facts.
still got to fight that one fight. I tell you
Yep.
what, it's not going to be Ryan.
Yep.
Because if he fights Ryan, it's not going to be under Sufa.
That's
to keep
it.
Conor Ben.
Facts. Exactly. That's it, Pat. Yep. The Canadian. You talk about Stephen Butler. Yep. He fights Stephen Butler. Thank you. The Canadian dude. Yep. Stephen Butler. Yeah. Jenebek's best win.
Damn. The only Butler I want to know is Wilson.
Right.
One from the French Prince of Bel Air. That's
Exactly.
Like, who are these guys fighting, man? Like, it seems like a built-in excuse not to take real fights.
Right.
And it's not on the fighters. It's not on the supporters now. It's on the sanctioning bodies. Like,
Yeah, man. It's crazy, bro.
like if you I get it if you're a high-profile guy because you're gonna get paid, but who wants realistically? You think Duarte wants to go there? You think who's in the camp? Well, wants to go there. Matias wants to go there. Well, Matias maybe. Like all these, man, like the exciting fights are not gonna happen.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie though. I think they're building though, man. I gotta acknowledge that, man. They building, bro. Especially if they secure Shakur and Devin, man.
Oh yeah,
That's a big signing.
It's a big signing for Sufa. I think it's gonna hurt their career so bad though.
I think so
Especially
too.
them two.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's just if Devin goes over there, then who is he fighting? Because now he's got the built-in excuse of Sufa.
Yep. But picture this though. What if Tank goes sign the Zuffa? What if Ryan Garcia somehow gets out of Golden Boy signs the Zuffa? Boy, that'd be crazy.
No, until then, Sufa is intimidated, or at least not to me.
I can't hear you, Oscar. It was like muffled.
Oh yeah, the win.
Okay.
I said until then, I don't want to hear about Sufa. I mean,
Yeah.
De Los Santos Raya is good.
That's a good fight, though.
Fight.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Outside of that, like, who have they put on? Glanton for Jaya Pataya and Jaya Pataya. You see, like, this is the idiocy of the people. They tell me Jaya Pataya is good.
Mm-hmm.
He fights Glanton.
Mm-hmm.
Then everybody's like, oh, I don't know about Jaya Pataya.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way Jaya Pataya fights.
Right. Exactly. Because they don't watch. They don't watch, bro. They don't watch fights like we do. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. I gotta give Zuffa credit. That card was pretty good though with CBS and Ryan Rosicky, yeah, because what's his name was on there too, right? The C4 fight. C4 versus where he survived a knockdown. That was pretty good.
But even then, doesn't it make you think like, isn't that what Pro Box was giving us? Good
Facts.
fights, good
Exactly. I'm not saying that's a good point. Can't say that it's better than gosh dang
Pro Box.
no sir. Can't say that. I cannot say that.
Main events, they got guys, you know, like, I'm not saying that they're fighting relevant people, but they got guys, they got names.
Mm-hmm.
But the cards, bro, I get that stuff from Pro Box, and Pro Box are free.
Right. It might not be though. Might not be for myself. Might get that $5 subscription model.
Probably funny, man.
You might get that $5 subscription model since Paulie was a whistleblower for it. Paulie almost got in trouble, man.
Like, shut up.
Yep.
What the hell are you talking to people?
Yep.
I bet his PR was like, who the fuck are you taking?
Passes Oscar Glazed Appetite. I can't hear well. Obviously, no. He's not. What's the name though? Speaking of Jenebek, right? I mean Stephen Butler, Jenebek best win. What's the name? C4 beat gosh dang Apataya's best win. Speaking of Apataya, Jack Massey. No, I'm joking. Braid is definitely Apataya's best win. And then I say probably Jordan Thompson after that. And then I'll say Jack wants Mac Massey.
Yeah, he don't got a lot of wrestling, man.
Heck no, not at all. Not at all. But man, I'm about to go get ready for this USA game, man. Go get me some food. I'm trying to make it back in time. Sit back and watch it, man.
Alright.
But Oscar, I appreciate you calling in as always, bro. Always good to hear from you, man. Be safe out there. Yeah, I know you gonna turn it
No
up for the World
problem.
Cup, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep your clothes on though, man. Don't be streaking in the in the streets of Oklahoma.
Hey, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
The World Cup,
I'll tell
man.
you
You know what I'm
what.
saying? Goal!
Oh yeah.
Bro, that's my favorite part, bro. I love the goal, bro. That's my
You know
favorite
what?
part, bro.
Taking a soccer, you know what I love, especially from Argentinian commentators.
Mm-hmm.
They be like, their team, like, you know, you can tell who's a fan of who. The announcer be playing their rivals, and they be like, and he takes it, no, thank God for this. That was for this. I was born to watch it. Meanwhile, the other team scores, and thank God for this moment.
I'm telling you,
Because he
bro.
did it. He has the net. And then,
I'm
like,
telling you,
the other
bro.
team scores, and like, these motherfuckers want to kill me.
Gotta get that
Yeah.
golazo, man. Gotta get that golazo, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's the best,
All
man.
right, man.
All right, Oscar, I
final
appreciate
take.
you, man.
My
Go
final
ahead.
take.
Mm-hmm.
Dan gonna feel the same way as Warley Dubois. Control, but Keyshawn's always gonna be there. Like
Always gonna be a
Keyshawn's
live
gonna be a
dog.
live dog.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Outside of that, thank you, Doc, for having me on.
Man, thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem.
God bless. That's my guy right there, man. Mi hermano Cardinal. Oscar Perez, man. Hey, I agree with he said, hey, Keyshawn Devin, if they do fight, it's gonna be similar to Wardley and Dubois. I agree with that. But I think that that's how I see. You know, I would say that, you know, of course, Keyshawn's a better boxer than Wardley, so but I like that analogy. I think that's how it would go. Similar. That's how I have it. I have Devin Haney outboxing Keyshawn Davis. But it's always gonna feel like Keyshawn Davis is in the fight, you know. I think so, at least anyway. But shout out to my guy James, man. Australia's in the World Cup too, ain't it? He said you live tomorrow. You going for the fight? I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna go live, bro. But I'm still thinking about it. Shout out to Kendrick, man. You know my boy always gonna lead me in the right direction. I'm thinking about it, but if not, then I'll be live for the Bam fight. But I will say this too. I want to add what Oscar said, or not what Oscar? Yeah, Oscar said about the Keyshawn and Devin. First of all, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that he's gonna vacate the WBO belt. But if it does, yeah, I got Devin winning probably 8-4 over Keyshawn. But I actually don't really have a horse in that race. I don't really care who wins, but I think if I had to put money on it, I would lean towards Devin Haney. I would think Devin Haney would win. Just the experience, man. Shout out to James Daly. He asked me who I have, Liam Paul versus Lewis Crocker. I'm going Liam Paul, but I will say this too, though, James. Shout out to my Aussie brethren. You know I like Liam Paul. You know I picked Liam Paul to beat Subra Matias. When Liam Paul and Devin Haney were talking about fighting, I was picking Liam Paul to beat Devin Haney. I don't feel that way anymore after seeing Richardson Hitchens because I'm gonna tell you why. Because Richardson Hitchens and Devin Haney, to me, they have a very similar style. I just think that Devin Haney is slightly more polished than Richardson Hitchens. So if Richardson Hitchens was able to outpoint Liam Paul, which he did, I think that Devin Haney would do the same. But before that fight transpired, when they were talking about potentially fighting Liam Paul and Devin Haney, I was leaning towards Liam Paul. So I like Liam Paul. I like what he brings to the table. So I haven't beaten Lewis Crocker. I think Lewis Crocker is a good fighter though, but I think Liam Paul is better. And plus his experience, he's been in there with guys like Subra Matias, you know what I'm saying? Guys like Richard Hitchens. So I think Liam Paul has has experience on his side. So I'm going Liam Paul. I don't have many horses. I just want to see fights. Facts. I'm with you on that. You know. I would say that too, you know, usually it's fight to fight for me, but I would say I have a lot of favorite fighters. But there's only a few fighters that I probably rooted for them in any fight that they're in. Floyd Mayweather was one of them. Errol Spence was one of them. Cinnamon's one of them. Junta Nakatani's one of them. Caleb Plant's another one. Gervonta Tank Davis is another one. And you know who's becoming one of them? That boy, Oshaki Foster. I ain't gonna lie. Michaela Mayer is one of them too. I like Michaela Mayer a lot. Except if Michaela Mayer fights Clarissa Shields, though, I'll be going for Clarissa Shields. I like Clarissa Shields. She's one of them as well. I'm always going for her. But I like Michaela Mayer a lot. Until if she fights Clarissa Shields, I'll be going for Clarissa. I don't think that'll happen, but if it does. But yeah. Yeah, I'm usually going for but yeah, Oshiki Foster slowly becoming one of them too. I like Oshiki Foster a lot too. Brian Norman Jr. I like him too. Who else? Quite a few fighters I like. But yeah, man, I think Liam Power can learn from Hitchens. I think so too. We ain't got to see a fight at Zuffa. We ain't gonna see a fight at Zuffa. I'm telling you, Hitchens a cherry picker. I don't know, man. You know, I'm gonna defend Hitchens a little bit. Hitchens, to me, I'm not going to push back on him being a cherry picker because he didn't fight Matias. A lot of people won that fight. He didn't fight Duarte, right? I think he should double back on Duarte. But, you know, with him going to Zuffa, right, it's not realistic anymore because Duarte's at 140. There's no 140 at Zuffa, so he has to go to 147, 135. Likely he's going to 147 because if you can't make 140, you're not going to 135 if you're Richard Sanchez, right? So because he's with Zuffa, I give him a pass for Duarte retroactively. But before, I thought that looked bad too. But I will say this, though. When Richard Sanchez was about to fight Salas, who he's fighting now, and people thought he wasn't going to fight him, people were saying, oh, he's ducking Salas. Oh, we want to see that fight. Of course he didn't want to fight him. But then when he agreed to fight Salas, people were saying, oh, he's fighting nobody. So it's just like, sometimes people just be picking and choosing, you know, and they're always going to say something, you know. 1 second he was ducking Salas, now he's fighting Salas, and people are still disappointed. So it's like, come on, man. But the reason why I agree with you is because I won't say necessarily that he's a cherry picker, but he's talking way too much to be fighting the guys he's fighting. Like every second you see him, I want to fight Keyshawn, or I want to fight Devin Haney, or I want to fight Teofimo, I want to fight this, I want to fight that, I want to fight that, I want to fight this. And then you turn around and fight Salas. And then you turn around and not fight Duarte. And then you turn around and fight. I'm not knocking him for Kambosos because I was a defense, whatever. But, you know, the time Kambosos is a good fighter too, but Kambosos is on the decline. He already got stopped by Lomachenko by the time he got stopped by Hitchens. So it's just like you can't be calling out all these other stars and then fight Salas. You know what I'm saying? But it is on Zuffa once again. You know, when you're fighting on Zuffa, your first fight is not going to be a big name. You know, at least it hasn't been so far, so it is what it is. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me as always. For real, I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to smack that like button if you haven't done so already. I'm going to be back on probably tomorrow, good Lord willing. I'm going to try my best for the fight. If I don't go and attend the fight for the ladies in Orlando, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Naquan. He says, I hope Keyshawn gets a fight with Devin because Shakur been in his way. Yeah, I would like that fight. I might be one of the few out there that feels this way, but I prefer to see Devin versus Keyshawn right now because I think that fight makes more sense with Keyshawn actually being at 147 for the time being. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur, he just had one fight at 140. So I'm not really a fan of the catch weights. I wish that fighters would fight where they're comfortable at. And then so we have less excuses for the victor and the loser. You see what I'm saying? So I would prefer for Devin Haney versus Keyshawn as well. But I'm not going to be mad at Devin Haney versus Shakur either. You feel me? But I'm with you on that, Naquan. I think that's a great fight. I would lean towards Devin right now, but cannot count out the businessman. You feel me? But I appreciate y'all rocking as always, for real. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. Thank y'all for the members, everybody that renewed their membership. Shout out to my brother Dub for the $5. You know what I'm talking about, on the super chat. Yeah, man. And just rock with your boy, man. We just hit 5,000 subscribers. A Boxing Talk family. We are at 5,000 family members. You feel what I'm saying? BTF rise up. We're going to keep growing and growing. That's what we do. Get the hustle off the muscle. Let's go. I appreciate y'all for real. Catch y'all on the flip side. From the hood. Uh-oh. Hold on. Whoa. It messed up. I got you. Give me a second. My outro messed up.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.